And now, skull902 presents the best of his channel in the year 2025. Hello, I'm skull902. Why have you broken into my home? Well, if you're going to ransack the place, at least join me here in my personal home theater and enjoy the highlights of my channel this year. 2025 marked my full transition from the old days of sprite videos and voice acting to more of a focus on video essays with other content sprinkled in. Let's first have a look at the video essays. Our first batch will feature a look at edits and anime dubs that I felt improved the show, an analysis of Surge the Tenrik and Kitsunami the Fennec, as well as my take on the production of Japanese footage used exclusively for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I shall return in a moment. Hey everyone, skull902 here. Recently I was watching Deek's Sailor Moon dub with one of my friends. The original dub of the show was very edit-heavy, typical of the era, some of which it definitely could have done without. But there was a moment while we watched when an edit came up where we agreed that it was a better idea to make that change, and that got me thinking, when and where have changes been made to the betterment of the show? In this video, I'm going to give a few examples. Before we begin, however, I must stress that this is all opinion-based. If you disagree, there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone can watch their Japanese cartoons any which way they please. With that, let's get into it. Sometimes, changing the wording of a scene can make it come off better. Let's get a Sonic example out of the way because that's what I'm primarily known for, but in episode 56 of Sonic X, Cosmo comforts Knuckles over being tricked by Eggman in the English dub, whereas in the Japanese version, the Blue Typhoon crew essentially tell Knuckles that it's okay for them to trick him because they're the good guys. Sonic does tease him at the end of the English version, but I think it's supposed to be him joking. Yu Yu Hakusho had generally snappier dialogue in English than in Japanese, which I think gives it an edge in presentation that helps set it apart from other shonen anime. It's not just the script, however. This never happens anymore, but back in the days when soundtrack replacement was the norm, you occasionally got an instance of the new music better fitting the mood. With respect to Dragon Ball Z composer Shunsuke Kikuchi, Z's Japanese soundtrack, with some exceptions, leaned more on the bouncy, comedic side of the original Dragon Ball's music, which clashes with what was largely more so an action series. Funimation hiring Bruce Faulconer to compose their soundtrack for DBZ was the right choice in my mind. His music works as a strength to the show's tone. In a similar vein, the original Japanese theme for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a good song in its own right, but it doesn't really sound thematically fitting to the show's premise. 4Kids' theme, however, oh my god. It's got some Egyptian influence in there to reflect the show's backstory. The mix of orchestral and electronic music is also such a unique blend, especially for the time, that not only grabs your attention, but demonstrates how epic the action you're about to see is going to be. It's a masterclass in theme songs. Another such way is, in certain instances, a moment might come across more awkwardly if translated or presented in its original form. The moment that inspired this video, for instance, was the renaming of Chibiusa's evil form in Sailor Moon R from the awkward-sounding in English Black Lady to the contextually appropriate Wicked Lady. In this instance, my friend and I agreed that this was the right choice, and I would argue should still be the case in the modern try-to-be-as-faithful dubbing of today, so that we can avoid uncomfortable-sounding stuff like this. You know what I'm talking about. In some cases, it just can't be avoided, like the international intro of Sonic X freeze-framing right before Sonic gives the thumbs up in countries where that's an obscene gesture, and in other cases it can backfire. 4Kids' explanation for this rather unfortunate edit in One Piece was that the character looked very stereotyped, but in that case, couldn't his lips have just been redrawn or cut him out entirely instead? Either one probably would have taken less effort. Let's end on a far less depressing note by discussing dubs that intentionally made drastic changes to the show's presentation. For one reason or another, maybe dubbing the show as is doesn't work. When Saban got the rights for Tatsunoko series Kyato Ninden Teande, reference material and scripts of the original were either in limited supply, poor quality, or both, depending on the source. A decision was made to write an original English dub, with the actors largely improvising their lines, making it far more comedic than the original. It ended up working, and the show remains a cult hit to this day. In a similar case, ADV Films were given very few provisions regarding the dub of Ghost Stories, and, with that, they decided to make it into something that more so resembles an abridged series than a dub, and audiences loved it. While examples are rare, I do believe that some changes really did improve the show in some way. These were just a few examples, and I think it's a really interesting subject. Admittedly, my standards are pretty lax, so let me know what you think. Agree? Disagree? Got examples of your own? I'd love to hear it. Hey everyone, skull902 here. Surge the Tenrec and Kitsunami the Fennec. On the surface, they're just a couple of rivals for Sonic and Tails, but their story goes much deeper, to the point I believe they've been given some of the best storytelling and characterization the Sonic franchise as a whole has seen. From their first proper appearance in Sonic IDW number 46, these two have easily been the best thing about the comic by a country mile, genuinely improving the series each time the focus is on them. Their story touches on subjects that Sonic usually doesn't get into, especially in recent years, and it's made for some really interesting stuff. Before we begin, I do want to point out that even though I might be talking about mental health and illnesses in connection to these characters, I am by no means a medical professional, and this video shouldn't be taken for anything other than entertainment and story critique. With that out of the way, why do I think these are two of the greatest characters in the Sonic series? Stay tuned and I'll tell ya. Let's start with some behind-the-scenes stuff because their creation is just as interesting as their characterization. Created by Ian Flynn and designed by Evan Stanley and Mauro Finesca, both were visually inspired by palette glitches in the Sega Genesis games, much like Scourge in the Archie comics. Surge also taking inspiration from Android 18 and the prototype Blaze the Cat, and Kit taking inspiration from skull902's King of Sorrow. Species-wise, Kit's a little less original, being a fennec fox. First in official Sonic media from what I'm aware, but definitely common enough in fan circles. Surge, on the other hand, is a Tenrec, a rodent similar to hedgehogs that, until being introduced to the character, I didn't even know existed. Now I know the confusion North Americans felt about hedgehogs when the Sonic series first debuted. Their powers and abilities were also chosen to reflect their rivals. Surge's electricity coming about from Tails' fear of lightning, and Kit's hydrokinesis as a reflection of Sonic's inability to swim. A lot of thought went into these two, and that'll become apparent as we get through their story so far. We can't talk about Surge and Kit's origins without mentioning Dr. Starline, a fanatic turned dissenter of Eggman who, quite frankly, I think is one of the worst written characters in the comic as he represents some glaring missed opportunities. But that's a story for another video. The one redeeming quality about Starline's writing, in my personal opinion, is that he's responsible for turning Surge and Kit into what they've become. What are their origins? Hell if anyone knows. Starline forcibly kidnapped them, wiped their memories, cybernetically enhanced them, and repeatedly made them forget everything they knew and molded their personalities time and again to program them to become his personal super soldiers. If you think that's fucked up, that's only because it is. Using the power cores, Starline bestowed Surge and Kit their abilities. For the former, she was given her electricity, the speed of Sonic and Shadow, and the strength of Metal Sonic. The latter was equipped with a Hydro Pack to aid his newfound control of water, along with possessing the intellect of Tails. And both were given the healing factor of Wolverine. Sounds like a good package of powers, but Starline felt the need to keep them in check, doing so by deliberately programming flaws into their mental state, and this is where things get both really dark and really interesting. Surge was molded into holding an extreme obsessive hatred of Sonic, making her impulsive and prone to anger. Kit, meanwhile, was molded to aid Surge by any means necessary, and for him, that meant deeply rooted dependency and insecurity. Surge's tendencies eventually lead to them turning the tables on Starline and rebelling against him, learning what he did to them and then erasing his memories to gaslight him for betrayal later. It comes to a head in a fight with them against Sonic and Tails, the latter realizing Kit's plight and almost getting through to him before it becomes evident Surge is in danger, and the former trying to convince Surge that freedom and helping people out are pretty cool things in a speech that got severely overblown by one section of the fanbase, but again, that's a story for another video. Kit's knocked out and Surge presumed dead by our heroes after taking the L and falling into a death pit of broken robots, respectively. Their story very easily could have ended there, but it didn't, and I'm glad that's the case because things only get deeper from here and it's fantastic. After the battle, Sonic and Tails take Kit under their wing. In a move that would end up biting him in the ass later, the former decides to be upfront with the Fennec about what he thought was the truth behind Surge's fate. Kit, for his part, transferred his loyalty and dependency onto Sonic. Surge, meanwhile, not only survived, but stole Eggman's new prototype, the Dynamo Cage, which gave her powers a significant boost at only the small price of looking completely ridiculous. However, being used and abused the way she was turns out to have brought about unresolved trauma, and the hyperactivity of her power boost produces hallucinations of Dr. Starline that cut her down hard. Her focus is on a rematch with Sonic, and that takes her to Central City, where the Tenrec tussles with Whisper the Wolf, another character who's got plenty of emotional baggage to be studied. But that's a story for another video.
Surge takes the Wolf's Wisps and uses their powers, fighting with Sonic and Tails to the basement of a hardware store and overloading herself to the point of being rendered unconscious. Meanwhile, Kit catches news of the goings-on and, concerned for Sonic's safety, goes into Tranquil Fury mode, attacking Belle when she tried stopping him. This is an important detail about the character, and I'll get into why later. Kit arrives on the scene and, discovering Surge was alive, is none too happy with our heroes, warning them not to follow when he carried Surge away. The two embark on their next plan after Surge wakes up, Kit cooling her down from a panic attack and Surge giving him some assurances necessitated by his insecurity. I really like this scene because it feels to me like the characters, Surge in particular, finally get a sense of solidarity with their situations. They're in the thick of it together, true friends made from the worst of circumstances. It all boils down to another huge fight at the abandoned Starline base, with some great back and forth about what Starline did doesn't justify their actions in breaking free from the cycle, but Surge can't bring herself to do so, seeing Sonic's pleas as empty ploys for pity and friendship. Kit's much the same, accusing Sonic of being no better than Eggman when he saves her from the Doctor's attempt to take her prisoner, fleeing afterward. We next see the two holed up in an abandoned base and running low on resources, when they're visited by Clutch the Possum. Clutch offers them information on their background in exchange for their services, a plot point that could have gone somewhere interesting, but the comic completely forgets after this scene. Surge and Kit start by feigning remorse and looking for forgiveness at Restoration HQ, where they meet and buddy up with Amy, who gets Surge thinking for the first time that they truly are free to make their own path. Once the clean sweepstakes begin, the pair do Clutch's dirty work under the threat of fucking nothing now that the writers abandoned the truth of their origins thing, despite how that logically be the only thing keeping them from beating his ass, until an encounter with Sonic as the Phantom Rider has the crowd cheering for them, with a little girl in particular mentioning how Surge is her personal hero. Being shown genuine appreciation for the first time has the Tenrec-Fennec duo rethink their ways, vowing to become true heroes the right way. Clutch, again with basically nothing backing up his threats, keeps them under his control so long as the Phantom Rider is still around, which frustrates the Tenrec until Kit tells her he has a plan to win their freedom. Surge promptly exposes Sonic to the world as the Phantom Rider, freeing her and Kit of any obligation to Clutch and giving him a big public fuck you to go along with it. Once the climactic fight goes down, Surge shocks the living hell out of Clutch in the Extreme Gear mech, making no attempt to spare Sonic from the attack as well. After it's over, she tells the Hedgehog to stay alive because she wants him in a fair fight, and my god, what a great way to firmly establish her as an anti-hero. Surge finally saw the good in doing good, but still does things by her own rules, everyone else be damned. Their next chronological appearance is in the 2024 annual, where Surge is finding it hard to be a hero while not receiving the same appreciation they got at the clean sweepstakes, especially after being negatively compared to Sonic. Kit, after a conversation about taking out their rivals in Eggman, begins to plot something. If they succeed in taking out Eggman, there won't be anyone left to fight. He plots to himself to create problems for Surge to solve so she can feel good about being a hero, and this here, along with those moments where he snapped before, I think makes Kit potentially the more dangerous of the two. This kid is damaged, and this little scheme shows just how sinister he can be if left to his own devices. Surge and Kit, again, are two of the best written characters in the franchise thus far into their run. Their battle dealing with trauma, their obsession, dependency, insecurities, and everything I think is something a lot of people can relate to, and they show just how messed up it can be when the cycle of abuse is repeated, taking things way too far. So when Surge sees the light and genuinely wants to be a good person, it feels like a victory as a reader. It's legit long-term storytelling that the comic had truly lacked over the years and, Clutch's disappearing blackmail aside, has been the best thing about it by an immeasurable amount. I sincerely wish the rest of the story post-Metal Virus was this good. But, considering what we've seen with the development of these two, and especially with Kit's little plan, I am excited to see where it all goes. Can you imagine these two going in opposite directions to the point they have to fight? The potential for something even more awesome than what we've already gotten is tremendous. Their next appearance is coming soon, and I cannot wait to know what happens with them. Is it just me, or is she enjoying being zapped way too much? If any of you out there are wondering why I don't use my fancier microphones more often, this is it. And the former trying to convince Surge that freedom and helping people out are pretty cool things in a speech that got severely overblown by one section of the fanbase, but again, I was running out of breath.
Hey everyone, skull902 here. In the mid-1990s, Saban Entertainment's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers made its mark on television by adapting a Japanese tokusatsu series for Western audiences. Half of the footage for any given episode coming from pre-existing sources predictably made the show extremely profitable, but what happens when you run out of that pre-existing stock footage to use? Well, in an era before each subsequent Super Sentai series was adapted into Power Rangers, those in charge behind the scenes had to come up with some interesting ways to keep the show going, the first of which was to commission wholly new footage from Sentai production company Toei that would be used exclusively in Power Rangers. But it wasn't some half-assed throwaway project either. The Japanese production team really did their homework, and I'm going to point out how, along with some other cool stuff about the Zhu batch of footage. Let's take a look. Firstly, it's got to be mentioned that this isn't the first time Saban had made the request. While small compared to the rest of the stock footage, Toei did film original material for Power Rangers used in its original 40-episode run. Dubbed Zhu 1.5 by fans, this footage was based around the villains, with original shots of Machiko Soga and Ami Kawai portraying Rita and Scorpina respectively, usually to better fit the English vocal track. If you pay attention, the lip-syncing is very impressively done. I had no idea about this little batch of material for years. They did a pretty good job making it look as though it came from the original show. But plans changed once Power Rangers exploded in popularity, with demand for more episodes as well as the show's most popular character. And with this second batch, they took things up a notch. Like I said before, the production team at Toei really did their homework when it comes to Power Rangers, because several elements were implemented in the Zhu footage that make it very distinct from the original Zyuranger series. One of my favorite things they did was take notice that the American Green Ranger suit was a lighter shade than the Japanese suit, and, while it's not in all of the Zhu episodes, they made a whole new Japanese suit to color match it. The Zyurangers didn't use communicators, and neither did they teleport. In the Zhu footage, however, you see these Power Rangers elements being implemented. It carries over to the characterization as well. The Yellow Ranger is portrayed with more feminine body language and a clear bond with the Pink Ranger. The Blue Ranger was shown being resourceful and making inventions to help fight against monsters, and the Green and Pink Rangers were also portrayed as affectionate toward and protective of each other. I just find it so fascinating that they put that level of care into the product, and, while some of these were at the request of Saban, that doesn't take away from it in my opinion. Another thing I find interesting about it was that the resultant Power Rangers episodes' plots are still dictated by the Japanese footage. Everything you see in the Zhu stuff is a loose story Toei came up with that the folks at Saban had to tie together, and it still worked. Production-wise, you can tell from certain details that this was done on the cheap, even by Sentai standards, but even then, it makes for interesting details. The Mutant Rangers and Commander Crayfish using the Zyurangers' pre-transformation weapons, for example. Really, the only shortcoming of the Zhu footage was the Zord fights. In the Season 1 portion it wasn't bad, but the battles were significantly slower paced and you can tell the Zord suits had by that point gone through quite a bit of wear and tear. However, they weirdly made the decision to upgrade the Rangers' Zords before the stock footage was fully exhausted, meaning that the Rangers, aside from Tommy, but even then the Dragon Zord barely ever appeared, were using the Die Ranger mechs against the Zhu monsters, leaving Saban to have to sloppily cut together Zord fights where, with one American shot exception and the earlier mentioned Dragon Zord appearances, we never see the monster and Zords on screen together, which looked like total shit and wasted material they themselves paid for, and wouldn't be uncovered until some footage held by Jeff Pruitt was released in 2014. Concept art shows that this problem would have been resolved in a potential Zhu 3 batch of footage had Saban ordered it, showing newly designed Dino Zords being able to combine with the White Tiger Zord, but alas, they took a different route. Would have been a hell of a lot better than the splice fights. And that's about it for the story. By the time Season 3 got started, Saban had gotten more comfortable shooting footage themselves if they needed something that badly, especially necessary because they were taking elements from 3 separate Sentai series in that season. Occasionally it would result in original Zord fights being shot, including one at the beginning of Season 3 where the Thunder Zords, originally from Die Ranger, are seen on screen fighting Rito, originally from Kaku Ranger, and a few monsters from Zhu 2. The problem was fixed entirely with their decision to move to a yearly changeout of the suits starting in Zeo, mirroring their Japanese counterparts. Still, as the first solution to the issue, I think Zhu 2 made for a pretty cool blend of the Japanese and American elements of production, something rarely seen in the show's run, but interesting all the same. Zhu 2 was also responsible for giving us the Black Ranger with the Dragon Shield and the Robo-Goat fight scenes, the unmitigated badassery of which should outweigh any of its shortcomings. Ah, yes. Did those videos get you thinking? Make you feel something? Like the urge to put your gun down, perhaps? Our next 3 videos will show you not only the evolution of my channel logo, but also a retrospective look at a controversial debate in the Sonic fanbase circa the mid to late 2000s, as well as Sega's treatment of Rouge the Bat in the modern day. Please don't hurt me.
Hey everyone, skull902 here. One of the first things anyone will see when they happen upon my social media is a smiley face and the letters FTW underneath. It's been a personal symbol of mine for a decade and a half, but as someone whose screen name is skull902, it seems a bit odd. Here I'll explain how it came about and what it means. Let's begin. In 2008, YouTube was a very different place. One thing you could do on the site was take one of your video's automatically generated thumbnails and use it as your own profile picture. Back then, my font of choice was Verdana in boldface. When making update videos or ones where I spoke as myself, I'd use a smiley or sad face or whatever to convey emotion. I didn't think much of it until one of my videos happened to make a thumbnail out of the smiley face, and I really liked the simplicity of it. Black and white, portrays an optimistic outlook, it just clicked. So, from then on, I changed my profile picture to that thumbnail. However, there was a limit on how far back you could use your thumbnail profile picture, and once I had too many videos to go back to it, it switched to a video that ironically had a sad face as its thumbnail. I rather liked that smiley face, so I went into Microsoft Paint to make a permanent one. The original smiley for the win differs from other variants in that it was made in the Verdana bold font. A modern take on it that's not in trash quality because I idiotically saved it as a JPEG would look like this. The image was made in YouTube's then recommended 88x88 size as well, so that doesn't help. To stick the point home that I wanted the smiley face, I also put FTW under it, which was something I said a lot at the time. Looking at the original file's properties, it was made on July 16, 2009 at 1:15 AM, which is a much later date than I remember it being. I'd already switched my main font to Arial Black by then, and even used the smiley face on its own in that font to represent me the way I used to. The first alternate version of it from November of that year reflects this as well. Arial Black font, no FTW, with a black and red color scheme. Things stayed that way for a while, seldom using the FTW outside my YouTube profile pic until October 2010 when the episode 15 story came out, the first time a version fully rendered in Arial Black was seen. I'd continue to use it as a representation of myself until late 2018, with some exceptions, when the cutout of my avatar from this piece of fan art by Plushie Creature took over. As far as the logo itself, it went through some minor tweaks. Here it is as rendered in Windows Movie Maker, then when I moved to Sony Vegas permanently in 2017, then I commissioned a nice big professional looking version with a border from Sonic's, along with an alternate wordmark logo. I began to color code the logo in 2018, with a red background for the holiday season and blue to represent live streams. But, as I've mentioned before, I've been in a transitional phase aesthetically for the last 2 years. Blue, my personal favorite color, has been becoming far more apparent in the channel's imagery as of late, and for good reason. Here today, I'm going to be ringing in a little thematic revamp I've been working on behind the scenes. Introducing the new Smiley for the Win logo. Just a little change up from the last one. It's new, blue, and on a tilt. There's a new wordmark to go along with it as well. Credit where it's due, of course. Sonic's did a great job on the final design, which is inspired by both the 1994 New Generation WWF logo, as well as Nick at Night's from 2002. I don't know if there's a proper term for art depicting letters protruding from geometric shapes, but it looks fucking dope in my opinion. I'll be implementing it on most platforms in my Discord with this video's release, with the exception of my YouTube profile pic since I haven't changed it this whole time. I have it as an SVG too, so there will be more color variants in the future, including Christmas Red. Probably gonna look into a slight redesign for my avatar as well, but in any case, I want to give a big thanks to Sonics for his work on the new logo, and hope you all like it as well.
Fans of Sonic the Hedgehog have a reputation. It's inescapable. Several times over, bad eggs in the crowd have given the general public an impression of the Sonic fanbase as heated, infighting complainers of even the tiniest details over any work the franchise has produced. And while I, as a fan, think that most are well-meaning and respectful, I can't deny that other Sonic enthusiasts haven't really been helping our collective case. It seems to me like fans go through phases of pointlessly mudslinging over the most unimportant of things. Right now the popular subjects are character writing and 3D models. Acknowledging that there have, of course, been perfectly civil conversations on these subjects as well, the heated ones remind me of way back when, in the era I first became a fan of the Blue Hedgehog, that the thing people clashed over the most was the series' English voice cast. Hey everyone, skull902 here, and today, I'm gonna tell a tale of the Sonic voice acting flame war that took place in the 2000s. God help me. A little backstory on the subject. In 1999, Sega auditioned and hired a group of English-speaking actors to portray the Sonic cast starting from Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. These actors were brought on to be the vocal representation of these characters long-term, and, with a couple recasts here and there, stuck around until Sonic Advance 3, released in 2004. Signs of change would begin to show themselves the year before with the release of Sonic X, more specifically its English dub, produced by 4Kids Entertainment. 4Kids and Sega decided that, to keep costs down, the production company would use its in-house talent pool of actors to portray the characters, with the first round of castings trying to have the actors voice match the characters as much as they could. Ryan Drummond, voice of Sonic in the games, made an effort to provide his voice in the show as well, even offering to move cross-country to accommodate the studio, but was rebuffed. The lead role instead went to Jason Griffith, who got the brunt of criticism for his performances as both Sonic and Shadow at the time. 2005 was a year of change for Sonic in the West, as Sega decided that synergizing the cast of the show and games made the most sense, releasing the previous voice actors, without notice from what's been said in interviews, and bringing in the ones that 4Kids had hired 2 years prior. Some believe the turnover was sparked by the death of Eggman VA Dean Bristow earlier that year, but that was just a rumor. Sega had made the decision before then. Change, however, is something of a controversial subject in the Sonic fandom, and this change would be no different. This was also around the time that critics and mainstream media started ripping into the Sonic series, particularly with 3D games. With the internet being as edgy a place as it was back then, it wasn't the best time to be a fan of the franchise, generally speaking. I can't say for sure one way or another if that made the volatile ones more susceptible to anger, but I imagine that didn't help, not that that's an excuse of course. The new cast came in and you were either a fan of them, or stood tall for those that were replaced. Or you didn't care and just wanted a good game to play. If I saw a back-and-forth conversation about the subject somewhere, 99% of the time it would devolve into someone throwing an insult in there about the actors, the other person's mom, or much worse. Pretty inescapable no matter if you were on a forum, a dedicated fan site, DeviantArt, whatever, but I'm gonna focus on what it was like on YouTube after I got into the fandom. Attitudes on the subject ranged wildly. Guptil89, yes, the man of Average Human Mother fame, first became popular for defending the 4Kids cast and, believe it or not, was one of the most reasonable voices in the debate, simply stating his opinions and encouraging respectful discussion of the matter. Steve from Bellina Productions also got his first taste of fame with videos on the subject. I don't remember how mild or wild his opinions were, just that he was pro-Adventure Cast before gradually becoming neutral. Another creator, Pink Fox, regularly featured jabs at the 4Kids cast in her skits as a projection of her own feelings that they should be replaced. Jokes are one thing, but saying in legit commentary videos that the games coming out at the time were bad purely because Jason Griffith portrayed Sonic was quite a stretch, despite that having nothing to do with the game's functionality, and if it really was such a problem, most of them gave you the option to play in Japanese. But from what I can remember at the very least, she wasn't hostile toward anyone who did like Griffith and co. The same could not be said for Guardian Earth 128, whose anti-4Kids opinions were pretty hyperbolic, and had some heavily inflammatory things to say about their fans despite requesting that his own opinions be respected, with the curious addition that anyone who found themselves unable to do so should perform coital acts upon their person. But the most prominent voice in all of this, the central figure of the debate, was a man named Alex Ed Prince Stairs, otherwise known as Spax3. Now before I discuss this guy, I'm gonna cover my bases with this little disclaimer. What I'm about to say is my opinion, based on what I remember from the time and the digging I did into whatever's been archived. I am providing commentary on the events being discussed, and am therefore not infringing upon anyone's copyrights. So that out of the way, Spax was an AVGN-inspired game reviewer that began on YouTube with his reviews of Sonic the Hedgehog games. Having editing software better than Windows Movie Maker was a near guarantee that your videos would stand out, and Spax was able to build an audience due to this. The reviews featured pretty lengthy rants about the 4Kids cast, with an extreme focus on Jason Griffith, claiming later that it was due to a couple rude emails that, as far as I'm aware, he never showed any proof of. The man cut into Jason, not even referring to him as human, instead loudly, angrily yelling into the microphone about how he was supposedly, quote, that thing who fucked up who Sonic's character is, and this one guy was on a crusade to get the 4Kids actors replaced, preferably with the original cast, but also suggesting what he believed were suitable replacements within 4Kids itself. And he was serious about it. Here is a real, actual photo of, and I can't make this up, one of many physical flyers he posted around his hometown calling for a boycott of Sonic 06 until the actors were fired, expecting other people around the country to do the same. Dude was out for their jobs, and if he couldn't convince Sega to sack 4Kids, he was gonna show that he could do it better, damn it. For months, Spax put together and hyped up his vision of an uncut dub of Sonic X that would be far and away superior to 4Kids' original showing. Better editing, better soundtrack, and most importantly of all, better voice acting. He was gonna play Sonic himself to show how it's really done, and if this quote and screenshot give you any flashbacks, you know just how well that went. The voice direction was lenient, to put it lightly. Mic quality was all over the place, and Spax had a very particular insistence on casting children to voice Tails and Cream, the latter sounding like she just got out of preschool. Truly, a quality of dubbing 4Kids could never bring to the table, because theirs was way more presentable no matter how you feel about it. Very shortly afterward, Spax found himself embroiled in self-made unnecessary E-drama, and the dub was torn apart by his detractors. Now, if the project had been handled with any amount of humility, it probably would have been given a pass considering the standards of online video at the time, but if you're gonna go out, beat your chest, and say you're making something better than an experienced professional studio can produce, you'd better be able to live up to it. It wasn't long after that Spax would soften his opinion on the 4Kids voice cast, but the vitriol toward their supporters and especially Jason Griffith would cement his reputation with those that knew about him. Among other things, but we don't need to talk about that. The bitter divide on Sonic's English cast started dying down upon the release of Unleashed and Black Knight, which showed, along with Secret Rings in my opinion, that these actors really did have talent. You'd still get some comments here and there, but by the time the cast turned over once again in 2010, the conversation had dwindled down to a few whispers. Sega themselves were very aware of the debate, though, and even warned Roger Craig Smith of it before his casting was unveiled. And while the fans moved on to virtually sparring over what Sonic's eye color should be at that point, the voice acting flame wars effect shouldn't be understated. Jason Griffith had an active MySpace account at the time, and was inundated with a barrage of messages about how horrible he was for supposedly single-handedly ruining the franchise. Ryan Drummond purportedly had a personal YouTube channel, and had some psycho post comments on it about doing utterly heinous things to him and his family that bear not repeating because he liked Griffith's voice better. To paraphrase another creator, Big L2K6, these were just two guys doing their job and did not deserve such treatment. Anyone who was a hobbyist voice actor in the Sonic space ran the very real risk of getting hate comments from people upset that they didn't sound close enough to the actor they liked, especially if the VA was going for an original take on the character they were voicing. It's probably one of the earlier reasons why I never did a Sonic voice demo back in the day, gravitating toward the much more standard reason of I was too fucking lazy in later years. And speaking of where I was when all this was going down, being an impulsive 13-year-old who just got into Sonic, it felt like I was one of the few to find enjoyment from either cast. I once randomly re-uploaded an episode of the Sonic Tales in late 2007, sorry Kai Sonic, using the video description to detail my thoughts on the matter. You'd better believe the comments section was a mess. I remember a movement by Pro Adventure Cast fans to try and get Ryan Drummond to voice Sonic in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and I will admit here and now the sin of being one of the idiots to waste Nintendo's time by calling them over it. I legitimately don't even know why, since I liked Griffith. When the argument was dying down, I wrote a Griffith parody in my Sprite show to make fun of how stupid the whole thing was. It's such a weird time to look back on for me personally. I worked with Guardian Earth a little bit. Pink Fox was my friend. The first voice audition I ever did was for Spax's Sonic X dub, using my mom's Motorola Razr with its terrible camera and microphone to try out for the president, and remember the guy commenting that it was pretty good. Better than 4Kids by Spax standards? People I'm friends with today were involved in some manner. So when I see people getting so worked up, to the point of direct or generalized insults toward any that disagree about Amy Rose's character writing, or whether the points where Sonic's eyebrows meet are pronounced enough, it gets me thinking back to when these same things were being said and done in the name of the English voice cast. It was a prime example of how destructive the approach of legitimately hating others, putting them down, and or threatening them over such an unimportant difference of opinion truly is. There is nothing wrong with critique and civil discourse. In fact, it's healthy for the mind, and hopefully becomes the standard means of communication between the angrier side of Sonic's fanbase sooner than later. It should come as no surprise to hear that in terms of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, Sega is a very indecisive company. Which world do the games take place in? Is classic Sonic the past or a different dimension? Those are just two of the many things they've flip-flopped on over the years. Retcons and spur-of-the-moment changes are so prominent in Sonic that it trickles down to the characters themselves. Lord knows I've covered Amy Rose plenty of times, but who's another character that's been on the receiving end of some shakeups through their history? Hey everyone, skull902 here, and today I'm going to take a look at how Sega has tried to change Rouge the Bat, but also haven't fully committed to the bit. The story, I believe, can be broken down into 3 parts. Let's begin. Rouge was introduced in 2001 with Sonic Adventure 2. While she was primarily a foil for Knuckles, she was also meant to bring a different type of feminine personality to the series, in contrast to Amy. She's a jewel thief and femme fatale spy extraordinaire, long-standing tropes that she owes her existence to. These characters have a knack for their intelligence, kicking ass, and getting what they want by any means necessary, which often involves using their looks, and let's not kid ourselves, Sega clearly intentionally designed Rouge to be a mature, full-figured lady, a parental bonus sex symbol of sorts for the series, which is a very odd thing to say, but it's true. And if you disagree, they literally gave her extreme jiggle physics, plus named one of her alternate outfits in the game Dominatrix, and she definitely looks the part. One of you just said mommy at your screen. I know you did. It definitely feels a tad weird in our modern-day internet age, but portraying an anthropomorphic animal girl as sexy is also an old trope, dating back to the golden age of animation. It was still common around that time too. Lola Bunny, Tawna Bandicoot, Minerva Mink, Crystal... Ugh. I don't think it's as common now, but it does indeed persist to this day. Her looks apparently did ruffle feathers among parents enough for Sega to make a first attempt at a change in Sonic Heroes, which ended up not sticking. And honestly, that outfit isn't that great, so IMO they made the right choice. Rouge would continue to be portrayed as a flirtatious, busty McBad-bitch over the next few years, not without depth of course. In Sonic X they exaggerated her outfit sometimes to such an extreme degree that I can't actually blame 4Kids for editing it, and in Sonic 06 her breasts are so apparent that the animators deliberately made Shadow stare right at them in a good bit of the scenes they share. Whether it was her in-game model, promotional renders, or official artwork, Sega did not shy away from those bat zongas, and that would remain until 2010 when the series made a tonal shift. Starting with Sonic 4 in colors, stories became lighter and more cartoonish. You certainly weren't going to find anything deep during what's called the meta era by fans, and there's no better example than Sonic Generations. While as a game, it's easily one of the best Sonic has ever produced, but its story is a beginning and an end with zero middle to speak of. You're really just saving the cast one by one as Tails and his classic counterpart repeat themselves about the situation. One of those friends, of course, is Rouge. Since Unleashed, Sega had been modernizing the in-game models to make them appear closer to promotional renders, and it was time for the Bat to get that modern-day makeover. A quick look at her appearance will show that the cleavage isn't as apparent as it once was. Seems Sega heard all those jokes about Batmelons and decided they needed to tweak her a little bit. And honestly, I've got no problem with the way they did it here. If the Sonic series was gonna lighten things up, now was the time to make such a change, and they did it without any blunders. They did tone her language down a bit too, but I'll also say that it isn't to a character-damaging degree or anything. She continues to speak in the same tones and carries the same attitude. She just says overtly romantic things less often. But it's still there from time to time, even to this day, judging by what I've seen from Crossworlds. Personality-wise, she is still recognizably Rouge, so I'm not really going to get into her writing. The changes they made in Generations would stick around for some time. With the exception of early issues in the IDW comic, where they were weirdly very diligent to detail her chest, until the current era kicked in. Sonic Prime was released to Netflix in late 2022 and, as pre-release details were being shown, a promotional picture of Rouge caught people's eye. She is significantly more covered up and her chesticles significantly downsized. Fans were divided on whose decision it was and whether it was the direction Sega wanted to go with for the games. Her first in-game appearance after the show's premiere would be in The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, where she's wearing a teeny little tube top, cleavage and all. Memory fans the world over could breathe a collective sigh of relief, for the representative in the Sonic franchise was safe. Or was she? Sonic Team must have gotten really conscious about the whole thing, because upon the release of Sonic X Shadow Generations Dark Beginnings, change to Rouge's design would be seen once again, and this time, it was definitely noticed because goddamn Sega, you're crushing those things. Let her breathe. Her chest plate was moved up and, while her lady lumps were no longer suffocating in-game, they are completely covered, which does have the effect of her outfit looking really weird in some shots, like you almost lose the heart shape. You know what's more egregious though? They covered up the back of her catsuit as well. Her wings are sticking out of it with no holes or anything. It just plain doesn't make any sense aesthetically. Skull902 from the future here, and it looks like newer issues of the IDW comic don't have this oddity, which makes the whole thing even more confusing. Nobody from Sega has commented on it from what I'm aware, but this has been seen as an attempt by those in charge to sexualize her as little as possible. Fair enough, I guess, but if that is the case, then they're doing it in such a lazy, half-assed way. Hypocritical, even. If having her back exposed is so terrible, why is Amy still wearing a backless dress? And mind you, she's supposed to be teen-coded, so isn't that worse by this line of logic? They decided having even a teensy bit of her honkers visible was a no-no, so, why'd you fully model her ass cheeks and unnecessarily stick that batty badonkadonk right in front of the camera in a cutscene? You've got a lot of answering to do, Mr. Sega, you indecisive freaky bastard. And that's where we are today. It's such a weird thing, isn't it? Putting all that effort into making Rouge appear more advertiser-friendly, but then clearly sexualizing her anyway? Make up your mind, bruh! And the thing about all of this is, it's really all for naught. People, fans and non-fans alike, have had the perception of Rouge as the risque character since she first debuted 24 years ago. Nothing Sega can or will do is gonna change that perception after so much time, so why fight it? But if they insist, can't they just give her a new outfit? The ones from Heroes and Prime don't look that great in my opinion, but other games have shown that they can make a good one. Hell, why not the ninja suit from Sonic X? It accomplishes a few things. It covers her up more than her main look, it's stealthy, which is perfect for a spy, and it's also fucking cool. This is far from the most confusing thing they've done with the Sonic series, but strange all the same, especially in a time where things are supposed to be getting more consistent. This stands as one of a few instances where recent attempts to course correct have just raised more questions, and I'd hope that they can get back on track sooner than later. And I'll say it again, it's supposed to be a solid chest plate. They really did miss which part of the equation was supposed to be hard, am I right? And if you disagree, they literally gave her extreme jiggle physics. Lola Bunny, Tawna Bandicoot, Minerva Mink, Crystal... Ugh. I don't think it's as common now. In Sonic X, they exaggerated her outfit sometimes to such an extreme degree that I actually can't blame 4Kids for editing it. Fuck. Lost it right at the end. And in Sonic 06, her breasts are so apparent that the animators deliberately made Shadow stare right at them in a good bit of the scenes they share. I don't think I said that very well. A quick look at her appearance will show that the cleavage isn't... A quick look at her appearance will show that the cleavage... A quick look at her appearance will show that the cleavage... God damn it. A quick look at her appearance will show that the cleavage isn't as... A quick look at her appearance will show that the cleavage is... Cleavage. Why am I... It sounds so weird in my head when I say it. Where she's wearing a teeny little tube top... Where she's wearing a teeny little tube top, cleavage and all. Where she's wearing a teeny little tube top... Where she's wearing a teeny little tube top, cleavage... Where she's wearing a teeny little tube top, cleavage and... Where she's wearing a teeny little tube top, Where she's wearing a teeny little tube top, cleavage... I swear to God, it's a cleavage. That one word. I can't speak it without sounding weird. Why is Amy still wearing a backless dress? And why is Amy still wearing a backless dress? And why is Amy still wearing a backless dress? My mouth is so dry. It's stealthy, which is perfect for a spy, and it's also fucking cool. It's also fucking cool. I've put on the princess outfit as you requested. Our showcase will continue with my take on the appeal of the Super Mario franchise, a review of 8 connected Rankin Bass Christmas specials, where my summaries of 3 specials in a row began with basically the same sentence, and I mispronounced Jimmy Durante's last name as well as Archipelago. Oops. But then we'll move on to my skits of the year with Des Privrevius' perspective on liminal spaces. Enjoy, as the sight of you licking that knife on the other end of the room will now make me piss in fear. And yes, skeletons can do that. Hey everyone, skull902 here. 40 years ago today, the Nintendo Entertainment System saw its North American launch, in the New York test market, but no one really acknowledges that, and along with it came the release of Super Mario Bros., an iconic platformer that helped redefine the genre and revitalized console gaming in the region. Over the years, the Mario series and its cast of characters have reached legendary status, synonymous with video games and entertainment as a whole. It's the best-selling gaming franchise in history. One reason for that, I think, is that the series hit all the right notes to gain universal appeal. You look at Mario and think it's just right, everything works. Why might that be? Having a near unbroken string of supreme quality titles helps, but that's the short answer, you cheaters. Allow me a moment to give my thoughts on what exactly gives Mario its appeal. I've been a fan of the plumber since 2001, but it goes further back than that. My earliest memories go to the N64 launch commercial and the ever-iconic Got Milk ad, which ran for years and I always got excited to see as a kid. I had an NES of my own with my older brother back in the day, and I do remember having the first two Super Mario Bros. Games, but we were only interested in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too. Our time with the system didn't really last long either. The first couple years I knew of the character are more so marked by the ads I would see, like Paper Mario for instance. That changed on Christmas Day 2001 when a friend of my mom sent a Super Nintendo for us, which contained Super Mario All-Stars plus Super Mario World, a story I'm sure my subscribers are sick of hearing. But that compilation above all else we got with the system made me a gamer. Those 5 games held my interest like you wouldn't believe. Aside from Super Mario Land 2.5 years later, I didn't get another Mario game until 2008, and I never really noticed. It wasn't long after that Christmas that I became more interested in the franchise overall. Luigi quickly became my favorite character. I remember renting a couple tapes of the Super Show when over at my dad's and loving the segments with Captain Lou Albano and Danny Wells even more than the cartoon, an opinion I still hold today. My first pieces of Mario merch were a couple bobbleheads of the brothers, ripped to the first Luigi. When my older brother got a GameCube, Mario's inclusion got me invested in Super Smash Bros. Melee, which properly introduced me to a host of other Nintendo franchises. The series has been a reliable constant for me ever since. My first Mario game beaten was Lost Levels as Luigi nearly 10 years after we got the SNES because I'm awful at video games, and let me tell ya, I have a lot of memories playing with friends that I'll never forget, like beating Super Mario World for the first time with Rabbit and Josh by my side over Skype in a playthrough which made that game my favorite of all time, along with plenty of other first-time victories in games like Mario 3 and Yoshi's Island, or watching my friends play through the games themselves. I owe a lot of good experiences to Mario through the games, watching the cartoons, the movies, well, one of the movies. It's a surefire way to make me smile. But I'm not just here to talk about my own experiences. I'd like to take a dive into why it works for other people too. I've gone over how the software itself has a near-perfect track record, but there's a lot more to it than that. It really is amazing to me how Nintendo can make such a variety of different types of games and still keep the quality consistent, for the most part. There really is something for everyone. You want a classic 2D platformer? There's a Mario for that. Mission-based 3D platformer? There's a Mario for that. Open world? 2D formula 3D gameplay? There's a Mario for that. It spans across different genres as well. Whether you want something with more storytelling, something sports-related, go-karting, a board game you can play with friends, something educational for some reason, there is a Mario game out there waiting for you to give it a go. The series really plays to the imagination too. Mario can do all sorts of things: jump, run, fly, shoot fireballs from his hands, turn into living metal, fly but with a raccoon tail. There is no shortage of fun abilities he can have or scenarios you can find him in. Then there's the environments. Mario has been just about everywhere. Grassy fields, the desert, underwater, the sky, haunted mansions, fucking space? The guy's very well traveled. Pair that up with some beautiful visuals, some of which stretch the limits of their respective consoles, plus a helping of absolute banger music, especially the works of the man himself, Koji Kondo, and you've got yourself a winning combination right there. But it's not just the games, it's the character as well. Mario's just got an aura about him, like he's the friendly guy everyone knows. He might have saved the world and beyond countless times, but being a plumber, he knows what it's like for the everyman too. As he should. The man has held countless jobs over the years, rivaled only by Homer Simpson in that department. Shit, they were probably co-workers at some point. Dude's been a plumber, carpenter, zookeeper, doctor, referee, you name it, he's done it. Mario's got a little bit of us all in him, and I think that makes his likability extremely abundant. He is gaming's best friend through and through. And you know, the rest of the cast have a bit of that quality too. One of the things I like about the cast of Sonic the Hedgehog is that each character is pretty fleshed out, so it becomes easy to find a favorite. Interestingly, I think the Mario series' simplicity in comparison works to the same effect. You've got the shy, antsy younger brother, the uber-feminine princess with a big heart, the spunky tomboy, the loyal helper, the badass adorable dinosaur, these wonderful bumbling morons. Much like the variety in games, there really is something for everybody here, and that is pretty cool. So, what gives Mario its appeal? For my money, in its simplest form, Mario's just got your back. A real homie, if I say so myself. Nintendo's ability to make this franchise reach out in all different directions and still make it feel like it belongs together is a true testament to the mastery their creative minds possess. No matter the cultural differences, social status, personal preferences, or whatever the case may be, Mario's got something to offer you, which makes the franchise uniting, and it's for those reasons that Mario's more or less the figurehead of gaming as a whole. But that's just my opinion in a nutshell. Here are some of my friends to share their reasons.
Mario has always kind of been a first step in gaming for me, and I feel that's just the deal for a lot of people to begin with.
Mario's the first hero that I ever controlled. Mario was the very first video game I ever played.
Like most, my first game was a Mario game, and one of the first things I remember as a kid was mimicking the movie The Wizard, in order to get those 2 warp whistles and reach the end of the game.
Mario's the first hero I ever controlled, and Mario taught me the ups and downs of platforming, the thrills of platforming, the frustrations of platforming.
As well, when it came to getting into puzzle games, there was always Dr. Mario alluring me to its call. For JRPGs, my first one was actually Paper Mario on the N64. And when it came to racing games, Mario Kart was always on the top of everyone's list.
And for that, I am very grateful for this franchise. In a nutshell, that's what Mario means to me.
And I think that's what Mario is to me. The first step to everyone's journey into gaming, and one that helps a lot of gamers understand some genres they think that they aren't ready for.
I think it all shows just how much of a connection we have to the character, the games, and the entire franchise. Mario's place in popular culture is forever set, and it's all thanks to Nintendo's expert ability to harness the concept of universal appeal. Now if only Mario's prices could be friendly too. Come on, Nintendo, stop ripping people off. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, started in 2008 and still ongoing today, is considered the golden standard of crossover cinema. Obviously it had been done before, but Marvel's trend of using stories focusing on individual superheroes to build toward larger team-ups made it pretty unique. But what if I told you the concept had been kinda sorta done on the small screen decades before? The company Rankin Productions, through collaborations with Japanese animators, led by Tadahito Mochinaga, released a number of holiday specials from 1964 to 1980, about 8 of which tell the wider story, with others such as The Easter Bunny is Coming to Town, and Nestor the horrifically traumatized Christmas donkey connected in smaller ways. Now obviously I'm sure the original intent wasn't to have the crossover element, but I find it rather interesting that the decision was made later on to place these specials in a shared universe. Hey everyone, skull902 here, and this is a look at the Christmas-themed cinematic universe of Rankin Productions. Our first story is the bona fide classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which introduced us to 3 of the series regulars. There's Santa Claus, who will be the subject of most retcons throughout, namely that in this one he's a fussy asshole 90% of the time and insults baby reindeer right after they're born. Comparing this to the MCU, he's kinda like a composite of Captain America and Iron Man, the original Chrism Avenger, but also the one with the most resources at his disposal. Then we've got Mrs. Claus, our Pepper Potts of sorts, who will also change a fair bit, but in this special is just a kindly old lady that wants Santa to eat. Finally, our protagonist Rudolph, the Spider-Man of the group. Young and in need of some guidance to start out, but growing into one of the most powerful heroes in the world through experience. Rudolph is the son of Donner and Rudolph's mother, and is mocked at the reindeer games after impressing his crush Clarice. Figuring he has no chance of being one of Santa's elites, he runs off to live life as a misfit along with Yukon Cornelius, violence-mongering warrior of the Blood Dimension, and Hermie, a bitch. They meet up with Misfit Toys and King Moonracer on their quest to stop Bumble, abominable snow monster of the north, taming the beast amid a blizzard as Hermie rips all of his goddamn teeth out, with Rudolph's keen ability to shine red light having Santa see the error of his baby-insulting ways, and the two join forces for the first time as they deliver presents to the children of the world, including the Misfit Island ones. In the edited version, ushering in a new era of holly jolly heroics. In my opinion, though there's definitely some values dissonance, it was made in 1964 after all, it's got just a particular charm to it with most of the writing, the animation, and the beautiful songs, including There's Always Tomorrow, with an impressive single-take performance by Janice Orenstein, who was just 15 years old at the time. Absolute must-watch during the Christmas season. Next is Frosty the Snowman, the first 2D entry in the series. Now some will doubt its connection to the others based on this alone, but those people also stick signs in yellow snow that read "Please Eat." This special introduces us to the eponymous Snowman, our Hulk of the RBCU. Whereas Bruce Banner transforms into the Hulk as a result of his anger, nondescript Snowman transforms into Frosty with the power of a magician's hat, making the hat specifically our Doctor Strange equivalent. The story follows Frosty, brought to life after a scumfuck loser magician fails at his performance, throwing his hat away and the local children taking it for themselves. The hat's true power is shown when they put it atop Frosty's head, bringing him to life, aided by how Frosty apparently was also composed of magical Christmas snow. Frosty ventures with one of the kids, Karen, who doesn't ask for a manager throughout the entire special, and the magician's rabbit, Hocus Pocus, to find the North Pole so that he won't melt, with the magician trailing them to get the hat back. Frosty tries to help Karen when the freezing temperatures get to be too much by having her stay in a greenhouse, but the magician locks them in, killing our hero so that he can take the hat for himself. Bastard. Santa comes along to put a stop to the madness, bringing Frosty back to life to live with him in the North Pole and making the magician beg for mercy, Frosty promising the children he would return to meet them again. It's another fun watch. The animation can be hit or miss, but it's got good music and voice acting, with the narration of Jimmy Durant being memorable for his accent and manner of speech, as well as Jackie Vernon capturing Frosty's character perfectly. And we get some nice heartwarming parts in there too, like when Santa consoles Karen. Speaking of Santa though, we see our first retcons to the RBCU with his design being radically different, and his demeanor as well, though maybe not if this takes place after Rudolph. Santa's character would see much more change as the next special focuses on the man himself. St. Nick's origin story. The only series regular introduced here is S.D. Kluger, who illegally opens mail not addressed to him, though his only other appearance is in the previously mentioned Easter Bunny special. I'll say he's this universe's Hank Pym, considering the lack of interaction with our more prominent heroes. More notable about this special is how it makes further changes to both Santa and Mrs. Claus's characters, giving them a proper backstory, and an actual name for the misses. Burgermeister Meisterburger, dictatorial ruler of Sombertown, is delivered a baby to his doorstep. He burger orders his servant to get rid of the baby, who's blown away by a windstorm and discovered by a bunch of animals that, instead of killing him, bring him to the Kringle family, who raise him to make toys as they have for generations. Kris Kringle attempts to deliver toys to Sombertown, meeting the Penguin Topper and a school teacher named Jessica along the way, before being forced out once the Burgermeister order burgers their arrest. From there, Kris meets the Winter Warlock, melting his icy heart with a gift, and the two become friends. We see how the legend of Santa Claus is shaped. He delivers toys by night instead of day, he uses chimneys because doors and windows are ordered to be locked, so on and so on. The Burgermeister eventually succeeds in imprisoning the Kringles and Winter Warlock, aided in escape by Jessica as she feeds reindeer some magic corn the Warlock had, enabling them to fly. Now you may be wondering, if the young reindeer and Rudolph could just learn to fly, what's the reason for this magic corn business? I liken it to the fan theory about how Trunks and Goten were able to transform into Super Saiyans while they were so young. Their parents acquired the ability, which the children inherited to a small degree, obviously more apparent with the reindeer. Kris and Jessica marry, with the Kringles setting up a workshop in the North Pole. They don't really defeat the Burgermeister either. It's said he and his family just dropped dead, but I think that's sugarcoating it. The state his castle is in, the implication that the townsfolk unpersoned him, he probably died how most dictators do, by civilian uprising. But after this, Santa's free to deliver presents as he intended, shaping his legacy as the first Christmas Avenger. It's a good story with some fun songs, improved animation, and a neat little framing device. Many of the things I said about Rudolph apply here, but it also solidifies the RBCU for the most part. Still some flip-flops and retcons, but they'll be rectified later on. In the North Pole, Jessica tells a tale of how long ago Santa had fallen ill and was convinced by a dickhole doctor that nobody cared about Christmas anymore, deciding to take the year off. The missus isn't giving up on the holiday, enlisting Jingle and Jangle, who are equivalent to no one because they don't deserve equivalents, to find examples of Christmas spirit and show Santa that people still believe. The two elves are assisted by Baby Reindeer Vixen.
Weird, but we gotta remember that this was still before they decided to cross everything over. Out of concern, Santa sets after the three with Dasher, while the trio are accosted by the Miser brothers, Heat Miser in particular, whose baby reindeer attacking tendencies must have rubbed off on Santa come Rudolph's birth. Our heroes come upon a place called Southtown, where they make a poor attempt to blend in, leading to a series of events where Vixen's taken to the pound by a dog catcher. Santa, in disguise himself, meets a young boy named Iggy who's convinced by the jolly old man and his parents that Santa is indeed real. Iggy, Jingle, and Jangle talk with the mayor to get Vixen released, but he isn't buying their words, proclaiming he won't believe in any of their Santa business until it snows in Southtown, which never happens. Santa saves Vixen and departs for the North Pole, while the other three call in Jessica to come up with a way to make it snow in Southtown. That way is to talk with the Miser brothers, who provide us with the reason you know this special exists, and I gotta say, Mr. Green Christmas is like undisputedly 10 times worse, I'm sorry. Snow Miser wins. The brothers can't come to an agreement over territory, and the dispute is settled by their superior, Mother Nature. Southtown will get a day of snow, while the North Pole experiences one spring weather day, which has been ongoing for 50 years. So anyway, the story inspires children the world over to renew their faith in Christmas, and give Santa gifts as a way of thanks, along with a letter that restores his own Christmas spirit, so much so that it apparently cures his cold and Christmas is uncancelled, the day is saved, hooray. Maybe it's because I didn't see this one when I was a kid, same with the rest of the series, but I don't quite think it stacks up to the first three. The plot's not bad, but it does feel largely forgettable and suffers a bit from ending fatigue. Really, you're here for the Miser brothers. The songs are good, but only two, which are variants of each other, stand out. In fact, something funny about how late I first saw this special is that I wasn't aware this parody of Blue Christmas in South Park even was a parody. The animation does continue to improve with some really smooth shots and moving camera angles. Overall, it's a step back for the RBCU, with more wrinkles in the continuity that need ironing, but still enjoyable. Apparently, Frosty's become something of a legend since we saw him last, as the kids of Random Village bemoan that they haven't had a chance to meet him. Frosty himself feels the same way, forgetting that he promised to come around on Christmas because he keeps saying someday, and a newspaper from Random Village inexplicably finds its way to the North Pole, inspiring Frosty to visit. We're then introduced to Jack Frost, our Loki of the group, because he's extremely jelly that the kids love Frosty, despite how he's responsible for snow in the first place, which I guess means Snow Miser's out of a job. He causes Frosty some trouble with his winter powers, but the kids are unimpressed. Jack then plots to take away Frosty's very life force, the magic hat. Bastard. He uses Gust to try and get the hat, but the move isn't very effective against ice types, and nabs a different hat instead, leaving as he thinks he's won. Frosty finds himself lonely come time for the kids to go home, but the children hatch an idea, make a snow waifu for him, subsequently named Crystal. They try to bring their new creation to life, but have no luck. Jack Frost realizes he snatched the wrong hat, and goes back to finish what he started. Frosty gives the inanimate Crystal a bouquet of snowflowers, the love in the gift bringing her to life. Somehow. Crystal, the last series regular to be introduced, we'll call the Black Widow of the franchise, because I'm running out of reasons to make up. The Snow People fall in love, and schedule a wedding to take place immediately. Jack Frost has other plans, going for Gust again and landing a critical hit, taking Frosty's hat from him, which turns out to be a Pyrrhic victory because snowflowers are the key to life apparently. Jack defeats himself by throwing the hat back and dumping his ass in the snow. The wedding is on, which is all a big reference to the song Winter Wonderland, except when the kids kill the snowman, that'd be depressing. We got birds that aren't blue, they're married by the snowman version of a guy literally called Parson Brown, but that son of a bitch Jack Frost isn't through, gusting again until Crystal and Frosty glaze him into being a good guy. The snow couple become official, we get a lecture about how winter can't stay forever, they make a reference to the original, and everyone lives happily ever after. This one was kinda meh, if I'm honest. Any conflict is resolved almost instantly, the newspaper at the beginning and the snowflowers explanation for Crystal and Frosty living are quite a stretch as well. I also find it kinda weird that they didn't have Frosty come back to see Karen and her classmates, which likely would have seen the kids matter more to the plot. But it's also not horrible. The songs are alright and the animation's on par with the original. Paul Frees is a bit of a weird choice as Jack Frost, but Shelley Winters works out pretty well as Crystal. Andy Griffith takes over the narrating duties and does a fine job of that as well as his singing parts. But they did make him look like someone who should never be allowed around children. Get out of here, creepy Andy Griffith, or I'll piss on your fucking face. Ugh.
Bit of an interesting one here, as it's actually a New Year's special as opposed to Christmas. In the North Pole, immediately after the Christmas Eve trip around the world, Santa receives a letter from Father Time, informing him that the baby New Year is missing. Santa recruits the weirdly de-aged Rudolph, who is, of course, the only one that can navigate the storm, to find the baby, lest December 31st continue forever. Father Time sends for his loyal helpers, General Ticker and Quarter Past 5, to help Rudolph reach his castle, when they're suddenly attacked by the Giant Claw, who's after Baby New Year as his life cycle is ending and wants to stay alive forever, as Bro's just too big for a soak in the Lazarus Pit. Our heroes make it to the castle, where Father Time explains how the passage of time works and gives Rudolph his mission. The Baby New Year Happy has run away because all the dickheads in the castle made fun of his ears, so Rudolph must set out to the archipelago of last years to find him. Giant Claw tries to stop the reindeer, but is held off by Big Ben, who should have been named Whale of a Time. Ben takes Rudolph across the archipelago. No luck on 1 million BC Island, and they just missed the baby in 1023, where he's taken by the Claw. That is until Ben intervenes, but Happy ends up blown away to 1776 Island, just to be kidnapped again, so the whole place ends up being a waste of runtime. Our heroes set out to the Isle of No Name, where Rudolph shrugs off an avalanche caused by Giant Claw's ugly screaming, saves Happy by using his big ears to make the Claw laugh, and brings the baby back to Father Time with an assist from Santa so that the yearly turnover can take place as scheduled. This one is kinda boring, to be honest. The idea of the story isn't bad, but the formula gets repetitive. I think it would have been better as a half-hour special to keep things moving. Plus, the justification they present for everyone laughing at a literal baby, Rudolph included, makes for a very confused moral. The songs aren't bad, but nothing memorable. The voice acting's mostly good. If you watch it, do so for the animation, because the experience the team had by this point is really showing. There's some 2D animation near the end as well. Otherwise, it's pretty skippable. Going out of order for this one, which was released later, but you'll see why I think the next is really last. It's Groundhog Day, and Pardon Me Pete is set to make his yearly declaration. Pete comes out of his hole, sees his shadow, and departs back to his man cave, cursing the Northern Hemisphere to 6 more weeks of winter. Pete explains to the viewer that this whole Groundhog Day pageantry is actually a large show to keep winter going a bit longer. So I'm guessing this was before the parson told everyone why that was a bad idea. Also, Jack is invisible to non-magic beings, which means the choice to cross things over must have been a game-time decision for the next movie. So the story is told that in a place called January Junction, the peasants are in a bad way, having to contend with the evil Kubla Kraus, who steals money and ruins harvests because evil. Jack swoops in like a Robin Hood of sorts and makes the peasants ice money they can exchange in place of actual currency. Bad idea, IMO. Those ice sets are going to be liquidated sooner than you think. Kraus spots Elisa, daughter of the farmer peasants, at the pond and breaks up the ice they're both on, idiot, sending Elisa toward a waterfall. Jack saves her from the falls, earning Elisa's admiration as a hero, inspiring Jack to find some way to become human. He travels to the great kingdom of winter clouds to have a talk with Father Winter, who grants the request on a temporary basis, telling Jack he must assimilate to human life by spring to make the effect permanent. Jack begins his quest, meeting Elisa and getting in as the town's tailor thanks to a gift from his friend Snip. Father Winter assigns Snip and a sprite named Holly to watch over Jack, making them human as well. Jack learns more about Kubla Kraus, who's deeply unhappy despite his riches because he lives alone, with only his mechanical creations keeping him company. Deserved. Jack sets out to dethrone him, joined by Snip and Holly. Along the way, Kraus and homecoming knight Sir Ravenel Rightfellow also get the hots for Elisa. How predictable. Kraus has kidnapped Elisa, and the entire family, along with Ravenel, are out to beat his ass. Ravenel saves Elisa in short order, but is hurt. The peasant family take him back to town, completely abandoning the other 3, as Jack and his crew are captured by Klaus's Knights, Kubla planning to launch an invasion of January Junction in response. Jack sacrifices his humanity, bringing on a storm to stop the king. The plan works, but Jack has failed in the long run, as Elisa and Ravenel plan to marry. Father Winter explains the Groundhog's role in the spring changeover, which convinces Jack to do a little sneaky move. Disguising himself as Pardon Me Pete's shadow, Jack scares him, artificially extending winter by a month and a half, which the Groundhog starts allowing because it lets his lazy ass sleep more. But once spring starts to come, Kraus hits the reset button on his plot. Jack, human once again, stops him by using Kubla's dummy to send the Knights to their doom, with Father Winter doing the rest. Jack meets most of the requirements to stay human after stealing all of Kraus's stolen stuff, and moves to marry Elisa, but it's too late. Don't be too sad, Jack. She and her family did leave you out to die after all. I think this one's kinda bad, to be honest. I like the idea of the plot, but not its execution, with certain details, such as Jack becoming human a second time or Ravenel's entire inclusion being unnecessary or poorly handled. Many of the characters come off as flat or unlikable to varying degrees, like Elisa's family for abandoning 3 people, or Jack himself, honestly. He's a schemer that doesn't really learn anything in the end. Makes it hard to get behind the main character. Aside from that, the music is standard, with one song I rather liked. The voice acting's passable, though Jack's new voice isn't much better than the old one. And while there are some things about the animation that stand out, it feels like it took a small dip. Can't recommend, sadly. It's an early summer day in the North Pole as Rudolph talks with Frosty, now a snow dad. The kids ask to see Rudolph's shiny nose, but the deer has trouble keeping it aglow. Santa explains the backstory of the entire RBCU, and get ready because it's fucking nuts. Long before Santa, there was a wizard named Winterbolt who ruled the North Pole with an iron fist. Lady Boreal, Queen of the Northern Lights, takes human form to curse him to a long rest. Lady Boreal is basically God, and is shown to have led a young Santa, looking a lot like Conan O'Brien, and Jessica to the North Pole, where he would be a much kinder ruler. As Boreal's power dwindles, Winterbolt awakens and plans to cast a blizzard on Christmas Eve so Santa will get lost, then take his place. To counteract this, Lady Boreal endows Rudolph with her power on the day of his birth, giving him his glowing nose which will last until the moment he uses it for evil. So now we know the truth. Rudolph is this universe's equivalent not only to Spider-Man, but also Jesus Christ. So everything was prophecy, from his birth to the reindeer games, the storm, all of it to prepare Rudolph Christ to stop Winterbolt's evil plan, and the wizard is pissed. We see it's him weakening the Christmasiah's nose, and goddamn Frosty feels so out of place after that lore dump. Rudolph's strength returns to him thanks to the protective nature of Boreal's power, meaning Winterbolt's magic isn't enough so long as they're in the North Pole. Rudolph receives a visit from Milton, an ice cream man from Lily Lorraine's Circus by the Sea, who says Lorraine is in debt and the circus will be sold to Sam Spangles, which somehow will prevent him and Lorraine's daughter from getting married, apparently, I guess. Winterbolt implants the idea in Milton's head to recruit Rudolph, Frosty, and his family for the circus, with Winterbolt playing nice by giving the Snow family amulets to protect them from melting until the final firework of July 4th is set off. Santa approves of the trip and plans, thanks to Winterbolt's manipulation, to help Frosty with transport before his family's time is up. Wow, the big 3 Christmas Avengers all in one place. Don't get used to it. Frosty and Rudolph Christ arrive at the circus and Miss Lorraine welcomes their inclusion. Meanwhile, Winterbolt has recruited the evil reindeer Scratcher, the anti-Christmas Avenger, to deceive Rudolph, partnering with Sam Spangles along the way. Santa and Jessica are en route to the circus, but Winterbolt puts them through a storm, forcing the couple to traverse on ground. Our heroes are unaware, and Scratcher gets a job at the circus by fraternizing with Rudolph, tricking him into handing Lorraine's money over to a disguised Spangle while the show's going on. Rudolph's suspicious, he and Frosty trying to stop the fireworks to no avail. Rudolph also learning that the money went to the wrong person. As Winterbolt arrives, the reindeer discovers he can no longer light up his nose, as he used it to steal the money. He and Frosty learn the full truth of the situation, as Rudolph Christ makes the decision to tell nobody he was tricked in exchange for Frosty's family not melting. The reindeer becomes a reject with the crowd and his friends, and Frosty is left guilty, wondering if there's anything he can do. Winterbolt discovers the power of the hat, and lies to Frosty about restoring Rudolph's nose in exchange for it. Rudolph is contacted by Lady Boreal, who tells him his powers will come back if he shows bravery. The Messiah tells Big Ben all about it, and the whale encourages Rudolph to try and get his powers back. By the time Rudolph arrives, however, Winterbolt has taken the hat and Frosty is a regular snowman. The wizard challenges the young reindeer, and the chase is on. It's final boss time. Our hero fights off Winterbolt's snakes and the wizard himself, retrieving the hat and returning his glow thanks to the bravery he displayed. Rudolph Christ is back in full force. It looks as though Spangles is going to get the circus, but Rudolph sets the record straight, earning the others' forgiveness and sending Spangles to jail. All is good in the world, until Winterbolt comes back for one last confrontation, and it's Miss Lorraine of all characters that defeats him by throwing her revolvers to break his staff, ridding him of his magic and turning him into a tree. So, fuck it, she's Hawkeye. The effects of his spells are reversed, meaning the Snow family is melted. Big Ben and Jack Frost come through, however, the latter literally breathing new life into Frosty's family so that Santa and Jessica can return them home, while Rudolph elects to stay with the circus for a while. Scratcher gets off scot-free like many conniving fake friends sadly do. I think this movie is pretty enjoyable, and a satisfying conclusion to the story. It's a love letter to the last 15 years they'd been doing these specials, with references to past entries and trying to tie them all together into a single narrative. The lore is so over the top it goes from being really silly to awesome if you've watched any of the others, like how they try to connect the events of Santa Claus's coming to town in the original Rudolph special, to bringing unexpected characters like Big Ben back, or references to things like the magic corn, which if my theory stands I guess would make Scratcher part of the OG Reindeer's generation. That said, there are definitely parts like Winterbolt's last confrontation that could have been cut without much need for change, and I wish there was more interaction between the big three. Hell, even Rudolph and Frosty's rapport feels lacking sometimes. The songs are about 50-50. Half of them are retreads or lack a little something, but the ones that are good are pretty darn good. The voice acting's well done, except Jack Frost, and the animation is nice as well, although this was originally a summer theatrical release and was pulled from its first town after about a week, premiering on television later in the year instead. I like the animagic style, and some of the things they did here were interesting, the Ice Dragon's puppetry for example, but it's just not theatrical quality in my opinion. Overall, though, I thought it wasn't the best the RBCU had to offer, but still a good, solid movie. Absolutely worth a watch at least once, especially to see how bonkers it can get. And there we have it. So what do I think of the Rankin Bass cinematic universe as a whole? It makes for mostly good watching. 3 of the specials are fundamental Christmas classics. 2 aren't quite to that level, but still good. 2 are okay but watchable, and there was only 1 I thought was bad. And it wasn't even terrible or anything. Keeping in mind that there are moments you can definitely tell that these were a product of their day, in my opinion these specials have a lasting appeal that make it unsurprising they're always in the Christmas rotation. Pretty solid series, I must say, with big props to the animators and Mochinaga's crew, Mushi Production, and Topcraft. And for those curious about RBCU adjacent productions, I wouldn't consider things like Frosty Returns or the song Red Snow by Psycho Stick as part of the canon timeline. Those are more like isolated alternate universe stories. And this shit is clearly just fanfiction. Jury's out on whether Mad Monster Party or The Little Drummer Boy count, but there are spin-offs, and maybe I'll review them someday. But for the main series, it's some good stuff save for Jack Frost, and I'd recommend giving at least some of them a watch. Points have to be reduced from Christmas in July, however, for not bringing Yukon Cornelius back. Winter would have been a good one too. No! Burgermeister Meisterburger, so much so that it apparently cures his cold, and Santa is... Santa's uncancelled, everyone. Frosty and Rudolph Christ arrive at the circus, and Frosty and Rudolph Christ appear...
Hey there, what's up? Des Pritfervius back with another video, guys. Today I'm going to be looking into the concept of liminal spaces, which people across the internet say are really spooky. Let's jump in the ball pit together on this one, bro. Some say the phenomenon was invented by a Roman cult that cursed the internet with its existence, but evidence shows the term itself as an architectural one that describes places like hallways and staircases. But that's boring, so I believe the first one, guys. In the modern day, it means a place that looks like it comes from a dream. Something familiar but slightly unnatural and eerie. It first made the rounds with this picture of a Wendy's dining room without furniture, and someone even said that you ended up there if you clipped out of reality like in a video game, bro. After years of trying that myself to limited success, the theory was debunked when it was found that this was actually a warehouse in Wisconsin, the scariest state of them all, guys. But that doesn't change the fact that there are others out there, and it really creeps people out, guys. Some don't seem all that scary to me personally, bro, like this one, which is literally just my basement. Or this one here that gives me warm fuzzy memories of my 9th birthday party.
Dude, your mom left you there all alone for 12 hours.
No, she didn't, Jerry. She just had to go to the nail salon for a little bit and forgot. The employees were very nice to me, and the police even came by to give me a visit, bro. You're just jealous that you didn't get a special visit by the police on your birthday. My mom loves me, I swear. You're just being a meanie head jerk face. So anyway, Jerry is stupid, and there's also this recent example making its exclusive debut on my channel, bro. Here we see a mall with no discernible exits, making it really scary no-no, guys. I also managed to get an interview with the video creator, and he had this to say. I am a hand, guys. I see. So could you explain more about the history of the shopping establishment to rule out the possibility of ghosts or Jerry? It is real. Wow, you are a genius. Is there anything else you'd like to add? My existence is pain. So there we have it, bro. Real proof of an actual liminal space out there in the wild. Make sure you don't step into anything unusual like a puddle, refrigerator, or that room in your grandma's house with the soft lighting and handcuffs on the bed, because you might end up clipping into one of these places yourself. Remember to become a Donatreon and thumb up the video if you want to see more, guys. Okay, bye now. But evidence shows the term itself is an architectural one that describes places like hallways and staircases. But that's boring, so I believe the first one, guys. So anyway, Jerry is stupid, and there's... It is real. It is real.
We've now reached our 10th and final video to showcase. After nearly 3 years' work, I retired from voice acting and sprite-based skits with the release of Sonic Clone Calamity. At 1 hour in length, it's easily the longest of my sprite efforts. Sonic, Knuckles, Shadow, and their friends attempt to stop the forces of Dr. Eggman and his engineered clones, lest the former three lose their lives. Pray I haven't been murdered after it's finished. Here is Sonic Clone Calamity.
God, everything on TV has been so boring since I blew up my own station. I need some excitement in my life. Like, when's the last time I had a truly evil plot to take over the world? That time I randomly used the oil ocean boss from Sonic Mania? Oof, I don't want to think about that one. It was not the best idea to use that thing on land. Not to mention all those super girls from Sonic I had to pluck out of my ass. At least I didn't have cookies shoved up there. That's never fun. I could make another robot, but... I just don't know what I want to build! Oh, will it matter anyhow? Sonic's got the skills to beat any machine I make no matter what. Wait. Yes, that's it! If I can't make a machine to kill Sonic, I'll have Sonic kill himself! Okay, that actually sounded really bad out of context, but just wait after the opening credits, guys. You'll see what I mean.
Ah, it sure is the life here on Angel Island. The beautiful plants, fresh air, lovely view of the ocean, and I get to have it all to myself. Alone. In complete isolation. Man, I need to see my friends more.
Well, at least you have me, Knuckles.
Yeah, but I'm still trying to figure out whether the voice I keep hearing from you is a figment of my imagination or not.
Oh, hey there, knucklehead.
Eggman! Are you here to be my friend?
No, I'm not here to fool you for the 8 millionth time. Just stand still one moment.
Eggman, what did you just... No way!
So, Shadow, do you think after this, we could hit up the skate park down by the mall?
What is it with your newfound skating obsession?
You both know I'm the best grinder of the group. And that's a sentence you definitely could have worded differently. But I don't know about that, Omega. It's been pretty hard to have these get-togethers. Can't risk being seen by the public.
Shadow, we're on the beach.
Oh yeah? Well, shut up.
Am I interrupting something?
Definitely not us three hanging out. We'd totally never do that.
Oh, yeah, we hate each other a lot, don't we?
Yeah, exactly.
Other unconvincing lie.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm just here to give you this little surprise.
You're gonna be sorry you did that, Eggman!
What's that over there?
It couldn't be.
Hey, Sonic.
Oh, hi, Ames.
How are you?
I've just been doing some thinking.
What about?
It's been a little while now since the last time the world's needed saving, and I never really thought about it before, but I kinda like the downtime.
Didn't you always? That's when things are at peace, after all.
Well, yeah, in that way I've always liked it, but this whole thing has given me some new perspective. I used to get so riled up and everything when there was no butt to be kicked, but once there was some real decent amount of time to go do it, and I started being able to hang out with you guys a little more regularly, I feel like I know you all on a deeper level, became closer as friends, and I really appreciate that.
Sonic, that's so sweet. You know I don't mind the opportunity to bond. Anyway, when did you begin to feel that way?
Remember when the anime thing didn't really work out and we went to get you some soft serve?
Yeah.
That was it.
Oh, wow. Well, you did a good job picking me up that day, and I'm glad it had a positive effect on you.
Well, you know, it wouldn't have been such a fun time without having a wonderful friend.
I always thought you two were a bit cheesy.
Eggman!
What do you want?
Funny you should ask. Much like you, Amy, I actually want Sonic, but for a different reason.
Oh, okay, you had me worried for a second.
Oh god, no. Might not have gotta, please and thank you. I need you for a little experiment I'm running.
Okay, but you gotta catch me first. Nope. Missed me. Can't you aim any better?
Well, sure I can.
Amy!
Ha! Fool! I knew you'd fall for that one! Or one of the others I had in mind in case that missed.
Sonic, are you alright?
I think so.
Well, you won't be for long, because I'd like to introduce you to my new partners in crime. Meet the new clones I've created!
Clones?
But how?
I thought for some time that I'd have to create a machine to beat you. But then I figured why not just have a Sonic on my own? And give him some buddies too while I'm at it. This kind of thing works really well in threes, you see. But to do that, I still needed to make the cloning device, which I did using samples of Knuckles, Shadow, and your DNA from previous experiences. Seriously, you guys should.
If they're clones of Sonic, Shadow, and Knuckles, how are they evil?
Oh, I just needed to add a little bit of make them evil juice to the DNA samples. Works like a charm. The only thing is that it makes them grayscale.
I knew they should have banned that stuff when they had the chance.
What's the matter, Sonic? You look like you just saw your own ghost.
Well, I'd love to keep this conversation going, but I have a world to take over. Toodles!
Wait!
Sonic, you're hurt. We should go see Tails. He'll be able to figure out what's wrong.
Good idea. Let's go.
Tails! We need you!
Technically speaking, did we just break in?
Oh, hey guys! Sorry I wasn't at the door. What happened to you?
Eggman shot me with some kind of weird cloning beam. Since then, I've started feeling weaker.
He cloned you?
Yeah, there's some evil copy of him roaming around now, and we might be in serious trouble if we can't get Sonic some help.
So that's been my day. How are you, Tails?
Well, I've been doing a little studying lately on the multiverse.
Multiverse?
Yeah, the idea that there are an infinite amount of realities different from our own. I think I'm close to a breakthrough.
That sure sounds important.
Much like getting you some help. Can you look at him, Tails?
Absolutely. Step in here, Sonic.
That thing's not gonna show me a bunch of weird simulations again, is it?
No, I stripped that function out. You'll just take a quick nap while the machine checks your vitals. Comfort guaranteed.
Sounds good to me.
So, evil clones, huh?
That's right. He got Shadow and Knuckles, too.
Interesting he's trying to use their powers against us this time. Say, were the clones gray by any chance?
They were.
Make them evil juice. I knew they should have banned that stuff.
Oh.
What's wrong?
After they were going back and forth amongst themselves, Eggman turned the laser on me. Sonic got zapped protecting me, and I don't know. I feel like this is all my fault.
Amy, you know Sonic wouldn't blame you for that.
I know, but I should have just moved out of the way myself.
It's easy to look back on that sort of thing in hindsight. I can understand why you would have froze with the laser suddenly pointed at you. And Sonic definitely would have put himself in front of you again if he had to do it over.
Thanks, Tails. I'll keep it in mind.
No prob, Amy. Well, time's up. Let's get him out of there.
Tails, what the hell? You said there wasn't gonna be any simulations. You lied.
I played a practical joke on you. Come on.
One where you lied.
Well, here's something truthful then.
Have you finished the tests, Omega?
Yes. Biometric scan of the clone and Shadow have been compared. Results are as follows.
Your energy is slowly being drained. There's no doubt in my mind that Eggman's somehow funneling the energy from you to the clone.
Both the original and copy share a connection. Using this connection, the clone is taking life energy from Shadow to fuel itself. I don't like people who steal from me. And I also have a huge urge to find the clone so I can call him Faker. So if he takes all of my energy...
You're done for.
Oh no.
Until the energy transfer finishes, the clone is incomplete. Upon completion, Shadow will die. Stopping the transfer before that happens ensures the easiest victory. Until then, we must find an alternate energy source to keep Shadow alive.
You think the Chaos Emeralds would do it?
Just what I was thinking. There's no time to waste. Let's roll.
Why do I feel so funny?
Don't worry, Knuckles. I'll take good care of you.
Well, I do suddenly feel much better when I'm close to you, so good idea.
If he needs Sonic's energy, the clone might not be fully formed. So if we can stop him from completely draining you, I think you'll be on even ground.
The Chaos Emerald should be able to give me a boost.
But do we have the time to go looking for them?
At the rate the energy drain is going, we'll have to be fast. But so long as we've got at least one emerald, that should buy us all the time we need.
We should try to get the rest too, so that they don't have an edge on us.
Agreed. I'll grab my radar and the parts to build a scanner into my pocket computer so we can run tests on the go. Better back up my research on there too, come to think of it.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll be back in just a sec, guys.
Gotcha, Tails. You okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Just thinking is all.
Well, I hope one of the things on your mind is having a little fun, because it looks like we're about to go on another adventure. Meet you outside.
Oh, Sonic, I hope we aren't too late.
Hey, Doctor, I've been meaning to ask, what's the plan here? I don't see how we're gonna take over the world just sitting on our asses like this.
Just as impatient as the original, I see. But some explanation won't hurt. By now, Sonic and his friends have probably sprung up a plan of their own to try and stop me. What I want you three to do is go and spy on them, see what they're up to, and relay the information to me.
A marvelous plan indeed, my good man. I do quite love some nice old-fashioned espionage.
A great feeling of despair and disgrace shall fall us upon our enemies once we've concocted our plan. The same painful feelings I live with each passing moment.
Uh-huh, sure. Now get out there already!
Yes, Doctor.
Also remember to call me every hour, pack clean underwear, and I love you very much.
Dad! Is it close by, Tails?
Yup. According to the radar, the emerald's even moving toward us.
So we finally meet Sonic the Hedgehog. And who are you? Don't you know? I'm Jet the Hawk, leader of the Babylon Rogues, fastest being on Earth.
If you're the fastest, then how come we've never heard of you?
Because, he's totally not actually the fastest.
Wave, I told you to back me up and make me look cool.
Whatever, he's cool or something.
I like potatoes.
Good for you, man.
Any particular reason you're wasting our time?
We've got important stuff going on.
Why, yes. I'm not too keen on you taking all the glory, supposed fastest thing alive, and I'm here to challenge you to see who the fastest truly is. Sorry, but I don't really have time for your bullshit. The winner gets this Chaos Emerald. Turns out I immediately have an opening for some bullshit. Well, good. It took a lot of hard work to steal it from that orphanage. Now then, the rules are... Oh gee, guess you weren't fast enough.
Thank God, that guy almost made me okay with murder.
How are you feeling, Sonic?
Better already. That's one down. Can you get a lock on the next one, Tails?
Already on it. The radar's telling me we should go that way.
And we're off. Corn!
God, Jet, you're like such a loser. Like,
Hey, that guy punched him.
whatever. Let's just go back home already.
Chaos Emeralds, eh? Wait until Dr. Eggman receives news of this development. I think we're lost, Froggy. This doesn't look like Frogapalooza at all.
Anything, Omega?
Chaos Emerald detected. 3 individuals spotted as well.
This could get dangerous. Be on high alert and take things very carefully.
Agreed. Let's try to slip in and out undetected.
Thank you for the lovely picnic, Mama.
Official gun business! Get on the ground! Oh.
This sure isn't what we were expecting.
If I may comment on this boldly,
Go ahead.
I think I just shit my pants.
How dare the three of you rudely barge in on our picnic like that?
You're taking this a lot better than I thought you would. Look, I'm sorry. We were just looking for your Chaos Emerald and...
Well, if you wanted it, you should have asked for it nicely. Now try again.
Yes, ma'am. Excuse me, but I need that Chaos Emerald or else I'll die. Could we please have it?
That's much better. Yes, you may have it.
After you buy me new pants.
Celebrate your small victories where you can, my foes, for we shall claim the ultimate triumph over thee.
Hey, you, shut up! I'm trying to enjoy my barbecue!
I believe, sir, it is you who should be shutting of thee up.
You wanna say that to my face, tough guy?
No.
There it is. Another one for the collection.
That tracker's working out great, Tails.
Thanks, Amy, but it's nothing, really. Just doing my job. So, what's next, Sonic?
How about apologizing to us?
Mighty? Ray?
Fang? Sally?
That other one?
What are you guys doing here? Looking to get our due, that's what.
Yeah, you fellas ours, so pay up, motherfucker! What? I'm just trying to be like Mighty.
You want to explain what's going on?
Ray's weird character assessment of me aside.
For too long, we've been relegated to spin-off media and deprived of a chance at the mainstream spotlight.
Plus, I didn't get royalties for the hologram of me in Mania. Sally and I haven't been able to find work since the Archie comics ended. You two were caught stealing from my trailer when the comic got cancelled.
Oh, yeah.
Quite frankly, asking Ray and I to come back to try and make up for restricting us to that doomed comic book without any kind of acknowledgement of the situation isn't enough of an apology. We deserve better.
Yeah, with Sally's permission. Listen, guys, I know it's kinda easy to put the blame on me because I'm the mascot, the figurehead, whatever, but I really don't know what you're talking about with being held down. Sally, Antoine, I fought to get you guys that cameo in Spinball and tried to get a game for all of us to be in.
That is true.
Fang, we sent you a letter and got one back signing off on your appearance. We did send the royalty check to you. Hang on a minute. I did move house around the time the game was being made. You didn't send it to 5 Ring Ring Billabong Boulevard, did you? Sounds like the address we had on file. Ah, damn it, that's my old house. Someone's been sending you letters in my name. And Ray, Mighty, I was the one who asked Sega to reach out to you guys. Honestly, I tried it a bunch before. Making the arcade game was real fun. I just thought you guys weren't interested.
So wait, we all got letters in the mail saying we were staying exclusive to spin-offs. You had nothing to do with that?
Nah, man, you'll have to ask Sega about that.
My god. All this time seeking retribution, and you had nothing to do with it. Sonic, I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm sorry that all you guys thought we were holding you down. We'll have to find whoever was sending you those letters.
Yeah. Truce?
Truce.
Well, glad that ended positively. There they are. Get 'em!
And now we have to go. Sorry for interrupting the movie.
So, should we start over, or...?
I'm sure we can cut around it. Where were we again?
Oh, Tails asked what we were gonna do next.
Ah, right. Well, there are clones of Knuckles and Shadow going around too, so it stands to reason they're also being drained. We're pretty close to Angel Island. Let's swing by, give Knuckles the emerald, and have him join us to look for Shadow.
Roger that! Setting a course for Angel Island!
Doctor, I overheard their plan.
Good. Report back to the base. Let me know what those plans are and we'll go from there.
Yes, sir.
Ugh, this sucks.
I thought you liked our time together.
It's not that, Emmy. It's that I start feeling woozy every time I step away from you. Which is bad because I'm starting to get really hungry.
You sure it's not me?
Of course not. I've really enjoyed your company. In fact, just to show you I'm not kidding.
Again, huh?
Ugh! Sonic, stop barging in like that. What are you guys here for anyway?
Not to interrupt the makeout sesh or anything.
Get to the point, Sonic.
You remember Eggman cloning you?
How did you know about that?
He got me in Shadow, too.
The clones are siphoning energy from you all, and won't stop until you're completely drained.
So that's why I've been feeling awful lately. Well, aside from when I'm close to the Master Emerald.
That's the reason we've been collecting the Chaos Emeralds. Sonic's been using one as fuel to keep him going. Here's one for you to do the same.
Sweet! Now I'm free to roam as I please.
Yeah, you should start to feel better real soon.
Thanks, guys.
Anything to help a friend.
We're gonna try to find Shadow since he was also cloned and then get back to the Emerald Hunt. You wanna come along?
I think Eggman deserves some payback for this little stunt of his. You can count me in. But first, food. You think we can make a pit stop at the Choker?
Sure thing.
No, not again! No, this isn't it either. Come on, Froggy, let's go ask that green guy for directions.
How close are we to the next one, Omega?
2 Chaos Emeralds approaching fast.
Well, well, I didn't know Jules liked me back. Perhaps I should marry one.
Oh, Knuckles already tried. Seems like an unhealthy relationship to me.
I will actually kill you.
So you've been after the Chaos Emeralds as well?
Yeah, we were meaning to find you to team up against the clones.
I detected your emerald before we got here. I take it you know the danger you'll be in without one.
That's right.
Since we have the same mission, do you want to join us?
Well, you know what they say. There's strength in numbers.
At least until the climax, when most of us will merely be observers to the battle, wishing we could be the ones up there crushing our opponents into dust.
Sure.
Alright, so it's settled. Nice to be working together.
Yeah! Team Knuckles Galactic, go!
That's immediately banned as a team name.
Aww.
Doctor, our foes have arrived knowing nothing of our insidious plot.
And upon this field of battle, we shall...
Yeah, shut up. As long as we follow the plan, we'll be walking out of here much more powerful. Are you ready?
Yes, indeed.
I shan't fail you, my lord.
Oh, I'm always ready.
Good.
So you know what else you can use a sink for?
Knuckles' gross-ass diatribes aside, how close are we to the next one?
Chaos Emerald signal coming in faint. Location unknown.
Oh, you won't have to worry about that for much longer.
Eggman.
In the flesh! I really must thank you, Tails and Omega, for leading me on the path to the next emerald. Saves a lot of time and effort.
You knew where we were going? But how?
Aside from spying on you, just a little bit of hacking. That information you had on the multiverse also sounded very intriguing, Tails. Now once I find the emeralds, I can use it to take over multiple worlds!
What makes you so sure you'll get the chance?
I'll have a pretty good head start. Now!
Amy, our emeralds! Take them to safety!
Right!
And just where do you think you're going?
Don't come any closer!
You think you can beat me?
One-on-one? You bet.
Aren't you in for a surprise, little miss? Running away with the emeralds might be keeping them safe from me, but it's making Sonic, Shadow, and Knuckles weaker the further you go. By my estimation, you're more of a hindrance to the team than a helper. You say you could beat me one-on-one? Perhaps. But you haven't accounted for the fact that you're surrounded.
What?
Thanks for the gifts, Amy. You really are useless, aren't you?
No! Get back here! Amy! Come quick! Sonic!
How are you holding up, Shadow?
Exhausted, in pain, irritated that I forgot to call my clone Faker. I think getting hit by a train would be preferable to how I'm feeling right now.
Bright and sunny as usual, I see. Nucky, how about you?
Ugh. Emmy? Emmy, are you there? I need your warm embrace.
And that's where I'll draw the line. You two boys go get some rest. Save the strength that you have.
Sonic?
Yeah, Amy?
I'm sorry. Losing the emeralds? It's all my fault.
Hey, don't worry. You were outnumbered against really strong opponents. You'll get your chance, Amy, and we'll get those emeralds back.
I don't know how, at least with me on the team. Running with the emeralds weakened you. I let Eggman slip away with them? Maybe he was right to say I'm useless, a hindrance.
That's not true, Amy. Remember, your worth isn't just how good you do in fights. If you want my take, I think you're one of the most important parts of the crew.
How so?
You're kinda like the emotional support for everyone. As far as I've seen, when any one of us are having a bad day, you're one of the first ones we talk to. You've got just an impeccable sense of understanding people. I thought I knew that before, but after we started hanging more, I think I really get what that means. Remember when you turned Gamma and Shadow around?
Yeah?
That's what I'm talking about. You see the very best in people and you're so good at it that they can't help but appreciate it a lot. You don't give up on others, Amy. I just hope you aren't giving up on yourself.
But you told me before all this started that you were appreciating all the time you'd been spending with us. Aren't you scared that it might come to an end?
Well, sure, but that's the risk that you've got to take when you're doing this kind of stuff. It might come to an end, yes, but that doesn't make the fond memories any less special.
Sonic, Thank you. So much. Your faith and optimism, it means a lot.
Anytime, Amy.
Do you have a plan?
I don't think I'll have the energy to be a part of the search. I can feel myself getting weaker. I think Knuckles, Shadow, and I are gonna have to stay behind.
I'll make sure someone's looking after you while I'm out there.
Thanks, Amy.
No problem. And Sonic, I promise I won't let you down.
You never have. Please give Tails the news. And good luck. I'll see you soon.
See you soon, Sonic.
That should do the trick.
System update successful. Would you like to hear about new product offerings from Gun Software?
I hate how you can't turn this part off. Skip!
Systems online.
How's it coming along, Tails?
I added a few layers of protection to my radar and Omega here. So now if Eggman tries to hack them again, they'll send back a fake signal to misdirect him.
I thought we knew where the next one was, Doc.
The signal they had was faint, and only gave us a vague idea. I imagine Tails has set up some kind of encryption by now, but that's nothing a little more hacking of my own can't solve. Aha! There it is.
Let us make our way and continue our journey, my fellow compatriots, for victory shall soon be at hand.
You coming or what?
We should be good to go. How's Sonic?
He said he was getting too weak to go along.
Shadow and Knuckles are out of commission too. Looks like it's just us.
Omega, can you stay here and take care of their medical needs?
Yes, I will assist them. First aid protocol initiated. Nurse Omega is here to fix your boo-boos.
Much appreciated, Omega.
All right. Sonic, Shadow, and Knuckles are counting on us. You guys ready?
Ready, Amy!
I'm all set.
Let's get to it.
Not too long now. The emerald's close by.
Oh, good. This place is a bit of a death trap, what with those spikes, flails, and spears.
Not to mention all the water. It's so hard to get my makeup just right, and I'm one wrong move from it all washing away.
Hold on, guys. I'm hearing something.
Hello there, friends. I love it when visitors come by.
I knew Eggman made Metal Sonic with Mechasonic's head!
Thought he could send his robots after us while we looked for the emeralds, huh?
Oh, no. Eggman banished me from his empire a while ago.
You have no idea how close I was to shouting attack just then.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Why'd he banish you?
Well, after my cousin Mechasonic with Metal Sonic's head broke, Eggman was really embarrassed by the whole thing. When he came back to his base a couple weeks later, he told me to get out and live the rest of my life here.
Poor thing. It must get so lonely here.
Oh, not really. I used the parts of some broken robots down here to build some friends. I'll introduce them to you. Here are my friends. There's Metal Knuckles.
Must punch walls.
He's caused a lot of leaks since he was built. There's also Tails, doll.
There's nothing in the world I love more than Cuddles!
Not gonna lie, he kinda creeps me out.
I admit it, Mommy! I took the cookie from the cookie jar! I'm sorry! What a monster.
So it's just you three?
Yeah, I don't build robots as well as Dr. Eggman, but they're my friends and I love them. Wouldn't change a thing about them.
What a sweet little family you've got.
We thank you and your friends for the hospitality. But would you happen to know where the Chaos Emerald in this place is?
We're in a hurry to collect the emeralds because a couple of our friends could die without them.
Oh yeah, we've got it right here. We just kinda used it every now and then to give us something shiny to look at.
Thank you. It really helps.
You're quite welcome. Say, in exchange for the emerald, if you guys happen to run into any other abandoned robots of Eggman's, could you direct them here? The sanctuary is welcome to more residents.
Sure thing.
I appreciate it. Good luck with the search.
Bye, guys! Aren't puppies just the cutest?
You've really got to stop talking in front of guests like that.
Oh man, Frogapalooza is really hard to find. This place isn't even good for fishing. All I've gotten are these drill guys.
Spooky place they've got here.
Oh, it is. Never thought we'd be back here, but it's where the tracker says the next emerald is.
Not to mention, we've got to pack in as many references to previous skits as we can.
I thought I told you kids to never return.
Speaking of packed in references...
What?
Nothing. Look, we didn't mean to come back. We just want to get the Chaos Emerald and skedaddle.
Then why's he been here for the past 3 hours?
And this is where I defeated the big spooky ghost man all by myself. Sonic said he was really impressed.
Out of all the lies you've told me today, this one was by far the least believable. I am thoroughly convinced you're lame.
Does that mean you like me?
Oh, he's not with us anymore.
Yeah, we kicked him out for being too clingy.
Kick him out of here and you can have the emerald plus undisturbed entry for life.
Well, that was easy.
That's for all the pictures you took of Sonic sleeping!
And stop leaving us those weird voicemails!
I think I've heard enough. I'm done here.
I miss having friends.
Alright, boys. She should be around this area somewhere. I'll look on the ground. SBO climb the trees.
This isn't gonna be another scheme to make me do all the work, is it?
Charmy, you got the donuts?
Got him!
Figures.
Hey guys, how are you?
It could be better, not gonna lie. First some hooligans ruined my girlfriend's family picnic.
Oh no, wonder who could have done that.
And I can't even be there for her because we got a mission to rescue a cat from one of these trees.
Isn't that the firefighter's job?
You'd think it would be, but it seems everyone just sees the word detective in our business name and assumes we do everything.
And the pay's not even usually that great. You know what we got last time for defusing a bomb? A small square of carpet. How are we supposed to live off that?
Sounds rough.
It is, which makes it fun to rub on SBO's head.
Next time you do that, it's no video games for a week.
Sometimes sacrifices need to be made.
Things might not be great right now, but I try to look on the bright side. At least we're getting a Chaos Emerald for this one.
A Chaos Emerald, you say?
We've been looking all over for those.
Tell you what, we'll take up your mission for the Chaos Emerald so that you can get back to your girlfriend, Vector.
Sounds good to me.
Vector and Vanilla, sitting Ninja!
Oh, quiet, you! And bring the donuts along!
Can I have one of those?
Okay, guys. Now that we've got our mission, let's fly up there.
Yeah!
With me?
Right. Sorry.
Honey?
You were the lost cat?
Oh, hi! You sounded a lot different on the phone, Tails.
Actually, the guys you called had a personal thing come up.
So we're doing the job for them.
Ah, I see. Love the outfit, by the way.
Well, hey, you make good stuff. But that's not important right now. We need the Chaos Emerald you've got. Our friends are in real danger.
By all means, have it.
Thanks, honey.
No problem at all. Thanks for coming to save me.
How'd you get stuck up here anyway?
Oh, it really is embarrassing. I was chasing a butterfly.
Well, you're in good hands now. Just try to be a little more careful next time, okay?
Will do. Oh, and please let Sonic know his special order will be done real soon.
Special order?
He'll know what I mean. Anyway, thanks again. I'm okay.
Oh, thank God.
Well, that's 3 emeralds. We should make our way back.
Agreed. Omega, status report?
All 3 patients currently unconscious. Time is of the essence.
Just hang in there and do what you can, Omega. We'll be back there soon. Rouge out.
Good work, guys. Let's get back to the others.
That's the 3rd false signal we've gotten. Tails must have done something to throw us off.
An unfortunate development indeed.
Alas, my fellows, we have been outsmarted by our adversaries, and if we fail to act in haste, it shall be our downfall.
That must mean they got 3 more emeralds.
And are probably using them on Sonic, Shadow, and Knuckles as we speak. The energy drain will likely stall soon, so get as much as you can. Even if they get back on their feet, you'll still be more powerful than they are.
So we should find the 7th emerald to give us another boost.
Precisely. I'll use my own technology to find it, and once that happens, we'll dispose of them for good and impose our will on the multiverse!
Hey there, sleepyhead. Feeling any better?
Much better.
Wakey, wakey, Knuckles!
5 more minutes.
Oh, come on. Knuckles, I got you some grapes!
Give me my grapes!
Oh, good. Okay, you're awake. Come with me.
Grapes?
Sonic, are you alright?
Yep, I knew you could do it, Amy. Thanks.
Thank you for believing in me.
No prob. Eggman can't call you useless now.
Got that right. Oh yeah, Honey said something about a special order being done soon?
Oh, good to know. I'm just gonna call a meeting.
He didn't have any grapes.
Knuckles, the multiverse is at stake. You can have grapes later.
I see I'm not the only one that's been lied to.
It was a joke!
Anyway, it's time we up our game. Eggman might have stolen the first 3 emeralds, but we've made a comeback and there's 1 more left. If we get it, we can send them packing. If not, then it's all over. But we're not gonna let that happen because we've got the best team of heroes the world could ask for. Ready to rain on Eggman's parade?
Yeah!
And I am too. Tails, do you have a lock on the emerald?
I do, but it's far from here, so we'll have to hurry.
Then there's no time to waste. Let's rock and roll!
I don't know if we're gonna make it this year, Froggy, but let's keep looking around just in case.
The emerald's somewhere in this area. Spread around and look for it before Sonic and his friends show up.
Yes, sir! Bit late for that, Eggman.
Oh, wonderful. You little pests might have tricked me, but the last emerald is ours. I mean, we were here first, after all.
Dibs.
Oh wow, really mature, Sonic.
Too bad for you, we don't respect dibs. Looks like we'll just have to have a good old-fashioned showdown then, huh?
A challenge? Ha! Might I remind you of our last battle? You'll only be meeting your end should you partake in...
Faker!
Huh?
Don't mind me, I just needed to get that one out. While dramatic, my colleague is very much correct. Your odds of victory are considerably lower than ours.
We might be odd, but we'll take you down.
We like defying the odds anyway. So, yeah, can we fight now? Yeah, I'm good for that.
Oh yes, carry on. Get them!
Take this!
Missed me. Missed me again.
Sonic! Look out!
Down you go!
Target locked. Fire.
Omega, you shot me!
My bad.
You're lucky I can heal with this thing.
Have a knuckle sandwich. Ow. Well, how about a face full of fist? Ow.
Goodness gracious, what's that in the distance?
I don't see anything.
Yo!
You may have the advantage in numbers, but I have an unforeseen trick up my sleeve.
And what's that?
Yeah, I should have seen that coming.
Tactical failure.
Yeah!
Sonic!
Ready? Go! Here they are, Doctor.
Yes, yes! Just one more, and the multiverse will be ours! How does it feel, Sonic, to know I beat you twice?
You haven't won yet, Eggman.
Oh, but I have. The clones are taking power from 6 emeralds now. You can already feel yourself getting weaker again, can't you? As much as you want to be optimistic, you know you can't stop the energy drain. No one will be able to stop.
Froggy, use chaos control now!
What the? He found the last emerald?
Thanks, Big.
You're welcome. I can't stay though. Froggy and I gotta get to Frogapalooza before it's too late.
Big, that's next week, remember?
Oh yeah. Bye-bye.
Well then. Looks like it's time for us to finish this. Don't speak so soon. We can still use the emeralds too.
We'll see how your super forms last once I send you to another universe!
Not so fast!
Tails, no! Now the machine will... Keep randomly sending all of them to other universes.
Huh. You know, attacking you with reckless abandon usually works for Sonic.
There's a fine art to it, Tails.
Can you get them back?
Yeah, shouldn't be a problem. Tails, help me out, would ya?
On it!
And so, my next plan to take down Uberduck is... What in God's name was that? You know, after poisoning myself with drinking water and being hugged to death, I wonder what other mundane activity could kill me.
Just about anything, technically. We could just be standing here talking like we are now and suddenly...
Tails?
Yes, Sonic?
I think I'm having a heart attack. Gotta wonder why Sonic decided to sleep out in the cold when we just went around looking for firewood.
Maybe it's because we were kinda mean to him earlier.
Most of you were. Don't lump me in.
Why'd you do that? Isn't he your friend?
He is. He just broke the toaster yesterday.
So you were rude to him about it?
It was expensive!
Still, maybe we should apologize after all this is over.
What was that? Russell?
I've got no idea. Does anybody remember what we were just talking about?
I don't remember it all. Mashed potatoes?
All I remember is us staring at each other.
Well, Lenny, it looks as if we won't be in any more videos. Despite my best efforts, it seems we'll be left forgotten to the passage of time. I'm sorry you didn't get to make your debut.
It's okay, Bubby.
At least you think so. I miss Dr. Robotnik. He know how to put us back in the spotlight. Damn that turkey sub! Taken too soon!
Pretty light.
My word, was that actual animation?
And that, my friends, is why I think bananas are evil.
That's the emergency you brought us all here for?
Boring! Your message didn't even
Have you found the cause of those temporal disturbances, Bruce?
The Bat computer isn't picking anything up. For all we know, this could be the work of anybody. Luthor, Joker, Apocalypse, maybe even one of our own.
Let's hope we can get some answers before it gets any worse. Any idea what that was?
No clue. They were too fast to be scanned.
Then there's only one thing we can do now. Yeah.
So the vampire? He's totally dead.
As happens with sunlight, yes.
And his girlfriend comes running to his side.
Then what, Georgia? Are you gonna say she was sad?
Well, yes, but you're missing the emotion.
I'm Brandon.
Indeed, you are.
Oh my god, it's a Sonic!
My dream come true!
There goes my diatribe about Vampire Hell Chronicles, Ice Pick of Devious Delight.
Sorry for interrupting, but can you tell us how to get back home? I think we've covered just about every gratuitous reference we could. From Sonic and Mario to that Superman-Batman show.
You never did a Superman-Batman show, did you?
Can't say I have. Whatever, can you do it or no? A Superman-Batman show?
No, I think he means tell them how to get back.
Oh, okay. I think that's being taken care of, actually. You're more than welcome to hang with us in the meantime, though. Georgia was telling us about...
How rude!
Oh, cool. It worked. Nice work, Eggman.
You too, Tails.
How was it in the multiverse?
Very, very weird.
I concur with my intellectually challenged counterpart. It was most strange.
Was it scary at all?
Our venture into multiple realities was frightening indeed, milady. With the great challenge of returning home looming over us, we looked deep within ourselves to find the light in the darkness that filled our hopes.
What the hell are you even on about? Now that we're back home, how are we going to end this fight? I've got something in mind. Let's hit him with a Chaos Bomb.
Right. Oh, shit! Let me just get out of the way.
It was nice knowing you all, but your time is up.
Sonic, while Eggman and I were working on getting you back, I did a little digging of my own into his files. The clones need an even flow of energy from the Chaos Emeralds to sustain their superpowers. If you focus on using the positive properties of the emeralds, their super forms should get really weak, and then you can reverse the energy draining process.
And you can draw from our positive energy too, just like when you fought Chaos.
That's perfect, no pun intended. Good thinking, guys. Let's go. Try all you might. You can't stop us, Sonic. That's where you're wrong. Now!
Go get him, Sonic! You've got this, Knuckles!
Show him what you're made of, Shadow!
As a non-organic being, does my positivity count?
I believe in you, Sonic, just like you believed in me.
What's going on?
There's only one way they could have known about that. Hey, that's cheating! I thought we were bros, Tails. Don't you believe in a fair fight? They need an even flow of energy. It's not like I can negatively believe in them to balance things out.
Keep it together! No! What happened? Sorry to say, but you miscalculated. Looks like your time is up.
Chaos Control!
No!
All right, you did it!
Fantastic job, guys.
Operation complete. Congratulations on a job well done.
Look at you three studs. I'm so proud of you.
Hey now, cut yourself some slack. We couldn't have done it without you.
You had our backs when we needed it the most. Thank you.
I've never felt this good before. I love you guys.
Must be all the positive energy. You'll be back to normal soon.
Well, Sonic, you managed to foil yet another one of my plans. I hope you know I'll be back.
And I hope you know I'll be waiting for you.
What's good for you? Like around the 23rd or so?
That whole week's kinda tricky, to be honest.
Ah, gotcha. We'll figure something out. Toodles!
I don't know about you guys, but now that I'm back to full strength, I feel like spreading some love and cheer.
Shadow, wait! I can give you some tips for that! Come on, Omega. Let's go catch up with him.
Affirmative.
I should get back to the Master Emerald, see how it's doing. Take care.
And I think I'm gonna go on a bit of a run. Catch up with you guys later.
Well, that closes the book on yet another adventure. Glad to see it all worked out in the end.
Agreed. If this doesn't convince them to ban Make Them Evil Juice, I don't know what will.
Yeah. Say, since it's just us, is there anything in the lab you can show me, Tails?
Absolutely! There's plenty of stuff I've been working on if you want to have a look.
Sounds good to me.
Cool! Right this way, Amy!
Hey there, Ames.
Hi, Sonic. How are you feeling?
All good on my end. How about you?
I've been pretty great as well. I gotta thank you again, too. I thought I had screwed up everything, but you showed you still had confidence in me, and that just lifted a big weight off my shoulders.
No prob, Amy. I knew you had it in you all along. Sometimes we just need a little boost, even me.
I'll be there for you if you need it.
That's something I always knew I could count on.
Thanks. Did you and Eggman set up your next encounter?
We're still working out the details, but like I said before, I enjoy the downtime a lot and plan on getting the most out of it. In fact, I was doing some more thinking these last couple days.
What about?
Just how much I appreciate having you all around. We all come from different walks of life and we've got our own ways of going about it, but when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, we really do look out for each other. Gives me the feeling of having a big extended family.
I understand completely. It's nice to know you've got a bunch of people who care about you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Plus, we're between Eggman schemes right now. Having so many friends means you got no shortage of people to spend some quality time with.
True, but today I had someone special in mind to do that with.
You know, Sonic, I was thinking the same thing and it sounds lovely. Shall we?
Indeed.
What's wrong there, medic? You look like your mashed potatoes were served cold.
I was so angry at Sonic, but we had the wrong guy all along. I guess I'm still feeling a little guilty about it.
Not to mention, we don't know the person who actually screwed us over.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
Guys, I got some news.
Oh, it's awful. Much like Sally's merciless slappings. You alright there, fella?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said your relationship didn't concern the shit out of me.
Ah yes, we get that all the time. It's just our thing. I assure you, it is all mutual.
Oh, thank God. So, what's this news?
There's some guy over that way that I'm fairly positive is talking about us.
So to get back at Sonic, I sent some of his stupid dumbass friends fake letters, saying they couldn't be in the games no more. I even managed to snag some royalty checks by moving into one of their old houses and posing as them.
Wow, you're real bitter, aren't you?
Oh, who asked you?
So it was you, huh?
Oh, crap!
Kick his sorry ass!
Mad Doctor's back again. His station's finally blowing up. He's plotting schemes again. His brain ain't ever slowing up. With every beating comes a rise. Back up to where he first began. To plan a sinister surprise. He's an unforgetting man. His sights are set on grand revenge, like no one's ever seen before. If his foe has so many friends, why not just make a dozen more? What is a team of friends to do? Prepare for clone calamity. The final story starts in big floating island, an emerald shrine, duck's depravity, begin an energy slowly with brutality. What does this mean? It's a start to a clean setup of events. Clone calamity, this pain's intense, near fatality. Cut to a strange founded family, full of japes and camaraderie. Forget your skates open, and you hell's gates hoping you're prepared for insanity. Don't be scared of calamity. Don't take your peace for granted. It is essential and it is beautiful. Our heroes banding, our understanding that they must be prepared to fight. And now that the seeds are planted to sow his chaos, Eggman brings new trouble. So get the crew together, all best friends forever, here to save the day and night. Research adventures and hijinks stuff. Fight another day. They'll soon find one Eggman sly links to their DNA. They've got to stop the madness, take out the fake Urbanus and play their part. Save humanity, full of heart, no calamity. Although the heart is a fragile thing, stress mentality. We can't blame ourselves for everything. It's brutality. We've got to lose some days before we win some ways and take wings. Time to fly, ring by ring, reach for the sky. Some long-lost friends from a classic friendship foe get in the spotlight for their own sake. Tension grows. Perhaps they'll get some vengeance or face some civil penance. Who shook the cage? Who will pay? While our new villains plan evil schemes, our heroes find many friends and teams. Some comic confrontations make crazy conversations and good memes. Let's go teams. Please don't think for 1 minute that our villains are just some copycats. Exaggerations and wild orations would bring the laughs and great intrigue. Everyone has got a limit, evil or good, everyone is still like that. The clock is counting, the pressure's mounting, can strength surpass this great fatigue? But this adventure's not over yet. There's so much more to take in, you bet. Let the tale transpire, ignite the true fire in your heart. Keep believing from the start. Oh yeah. If they search each gem, they can go on. They'll also search their souls and so on. They say there's strength in numbers, and even with your blunders, friends forgive. It's okay. Love will live. Save the day. Nux might get weird with his emerald soon. What? Not the first time, but it's good fortune. Yeah. Cause now they know the way to prolong and maintain energy. A cat and frog duo will start a quest. The hunt for gems should leave you impressed. But plans start slipping and Eggman's guilt tripping will cause some pain and entropy. But when best friends get together, no one can doubt anyone. Faith is no test, and we may see so many old faces from good old tales and skits gone by. And there's plenty of classic favorites like Teen Chaotix, who always try their best. And after scouring so many places, our heroes will take on each bad guy. So get together and win this fight. It's calamity. and take down evil by end of night. It's Saturday. We're Sonic heroes, yeah, and we're all heroes, so show our might. Calamity. Let's do right, do it happily. A happy ending is all we need. All we need to put a stop to this evil deed. Evil deed. Will our heroes be the Sonic heroes we need tonight?
Let's find out.
The future's bright. Calamity.
Ready to go, Shadow?
I was ready before you even arrived. Hey guys! Big? What are you doing here? Amy said I could find you two out here. Can I go with you?
Sure, you can come along. We're gonna be out for a while, though.
That's okay. I don't mind at all.
In that case, welcome aboard. You guys go get a head start. I'll catch up with you in a moment. Goodbye, everyone. It's gonna be long, but I hope I left you with enough good memories to get by in the meantime. And just know I'm always thinking about you. Gotta get going. Catch you later. Thank you for joining me for this showcase, as well as not killing me. There was much change for the channel this year, and I hope the shift of focus to reviews and the like has been as enjoyable to you as it has been fun for me. As a whole, I think I'll see 2025 as a year of difficulties. Between my technical and health issues, it's been challenging. However, my friends and family truly do keep me going, and I'll forever be grateful to them for giving me such love and kindness. You all are the greatest, and I'm going to remain optimistic that things can turn around next year. To the fans, I thank you for sticking with me through the transition and tech issues as well. You guys are the reason this channel has come so far, and I am so lucky to have you around. And to you, the one keeping me hostage. Please, take my money. It's all that I have. Very well then, sucker. Tee-hoo-ha-ha. Let's all make 2026 a positive one, fam. Until next time, have a happy new year. Thanks for watching. Be sure to comment, like, or dislike the video if you feel so inclined, subscribe and click the notification bell if you'd like to see more. For similar content, a playlist is right here. I have been skull902, thank you for watching and have yourselves a wonderful day. And now, Skull902 presents the best of his channel in the year 2025. That was shit. Very well then, sucker. Tee-hoo-ha-ha. Okay, one more.